joint venture partners signed the final investment decision. Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired, and compensation, cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed project-affected persons. Construction commenced for different aspects of the project: development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central process and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs, and install padding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling out with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent solar turbine transportation, EPC 3-tank erection work, EPC4 pipeline trenching. CNOOC will actively promote the LPG integration plan, which will gradually achieve the strategic transformation towards a green and low-carbon energy supplier. A camp integrated hydropower project has been set up, which will result in carbon dioxide emission reduction by 3,156 tons. CNOOC has continued to contribute to the Belt and Road exchanges, enhancing China-Africa friendship and promoting the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. CNOOC collaborates with various Ugandan universities to enhance graduate employment curriculum design and research. We have signed agreements with several institutions to support scientific research and develop talents in the oil and gas sector. CNOOC, in collaboration with 5 other Chinese companies, the project spearheaded a drive that led to the donation of $500,000 to upgrade the infrastructure of the Entebbe Welfare School. This is the largest donation to education in Uganda.
On behalf of Education and Sports, I would like to extend my gratitude to CNOOC Uganda Limited and the contractors of Kingfisher Oil Fields for your commitment to the cause of vulnerable and challenged children.
CNOOC sponsors international scholarships, sending Ugandan students to study in China. Under this program, a total of 11 students have been since graduated and are currently working in the oil and gas industry.
This scholarship to me is a dream come true. I always wanted to receive a first-class education from a good school, and CNOOC has provided me with this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
CNOOC training and certification programs for skills needed in the oil and gas industry with local employment and strengthens Uganda's logistics and industrial capacity. The contractors and more than 3,000 individuals have been trained on gas skills. The company collaborates with local vocational schools to provide welder training, significantly contributing to Uganda's professional welding sector.
The initiative to sponsor us who are underdogs and they want to put us somewhere, we thank them a lot. There's nothing much we can give them, but maybe use the skills properly so that they can also feel they have done some impact in the Uganda we have now.
CNOOC Youth Employment Support Program has trained over 350 local youths in various vocational skills, improving their employability and living conditions. These trainings cover welding, heavy truck driving, heavy machinery operation, engineering construction, and other skills needed in the oil and gas field development, as well as driving, tailoring, and hairdressers. CNOOC invests in projects to improve community living standards, such as providing clean drinking water to over 13,000 residents in Buhuka flats, carrying out medical camps and building resettlement with modern amenities for 56 households. We have also invested $20,000 in maintaining critical roads and enhancing public safety. Livelihood restoration programs include donating livestock and teaching sack breeding methods. We also work closely with the Confucius Institute of Makerere, supporting events like the Chinese Bridge Competition and the Sound in My Heart Chinese Song Competition. CNOOC also organizes activities to celebrate China, such as the Spring Festival. These efforts enrich cultural communication and foster mutual understanding between China and Uganda.
CNOOC Uganda is committed to education and to fulfill its vision of energy for Uganda.
And listeners on YouTube and those who are on Vectra Energy's X handle channel, I welcome you this morning. I'm your host Magezi Chirinju. This morning We shall, it is the 5th day of our CNOOC Enterprise Development Program training. It has been 4 days of hectic training, looking at different business options, business, the things we are supposed to implement as we do our business. We have looked at taxation. We have looked at IFRS taxation. We have discussed the types of taxes you're supposed to pay as a small entrepreneurial company. Remember, this training is focused on small and medium enterprises. So as a small business, we have learned what type of taxes you're supposed to pay, when to pay them. We have looked at IFRS. Many times we thought IFRS was a tax, but we have learned this week that it is a medium of paying tax, not the tax itself. We have looked at procurement and how you can up your company's capacity to engage. We have looked at bidding and contract management. The sector, the oil and gas sector, has a lot of businesses in terms of what the services they want, what kind of products they want, so many. So the only way to be involved is to bid competitively. So we looked at how you can be competitive in the business. We looked at contract management. What kind of contracts are you signing? Are you reading through before you sign? So today, Friday, being the 5th day of the training, we are going to look at the last component of this week. The training is still going on, but today we are looking at just the last part of the week's program. And today we are looking at a very, very important component of business: sales and marketing. It doesn't matter how good your product is, doesn't matter how strong you fulfill the rest of what we have learned so far. If your marketing and sales department is not working, you are not likely to be in business. So this morning, this is going to be our discussion, and we have invited another presenter, an expert in this field. I'll be introducing her very soon to take you through the kind of sales and marketing strategies you're supposed to use, when, how, and which, and where to focus. So without wasting any more time, let me call upon Madam Gloria. She will introduce herself again, to introduce herself and start us off on this Friday. You're welcome.
Good morning, our viewers, our online viewers, and all the people on Twitter or Vector Energies. My name is Gloria Nabweteme. I'm an expert in sales and marketing. And please note, sales and marketing is very, very important for SMEs so that their products can move out, so that people can know about your product, and so that you can also grow your revenue. So today I'm going to talk about sales and marketing, and then the various strategies you can use to grow your sales, and also for the people to know your business, either locally or internationally. Thank you very much. So we are going to kick off, and we shall start by describing what sales are. Sales is the process of exchanging goods and services for money. It involves the transfer of ownership of a product or service in exchange for money or other valuable considerations. Previously, some people used to offer maybe cows, others gold, but now the main medium is money. Then it is crucial to have sales because sales help in generating revenue. They also help in building customer relationships and driving business growth and profitability. Please note that when you have your products and you keep them in your safe house and no one knows them, please don't tell people that you've been bewitched. You need to promote yourself through marketing, and you also need to promote yourself by talking about the product through sales. Then we need to talk about the purpose of selling, like why should we sell? We have some processes. There are some key elements that we have in selling. When you're going to sell your product, you need to first of all look for clients. That's what they call prospecting. Prospecting is looking for clients in all various places, either through networking, through referrals, through social media, through Google search. Remember that we are now talking about the oil and gas sector. So you need to find out if your products and services that you're offering align with what the oil and gas sector people need. They may need insurance, they may need hotels, they may also need transportation, they may need mechanics, They may need food. That's why if you have a restaurant, you also need to promote yourself and also talk about your product. So prospecting is looking for customers. Then the next thing is qualifying the customers. You see, after talking about yourself, you need to find out if people are interested in your product or service. So when people are interested in your product or service, that's when you profile and make presentations. Talk about yourself. For example, in case you have a restaurant, talk about the food you offer. Is it a la carte? Is it buffet? Are you doing fast foods? Then do you do delivery? That is when you're doing presentations depending on your product or service. Then after doing your presentations, there's what we call handling objectives. Handling objections is when a client is not sure of your product or service, so they keep asking you questions. Let me say, in case you have a restaurant, like I gave you an example, they will ask you, do you add water? Do you do combo? Because there are some people whereby you buy the food alone or you buy the drink separately. So you need to answer some questions, and then they justify that they need your product or service. Then after that, you close the deal and then you make money. So why do we have sales? What is the purpose of selling? We sell so that we can meet customer needs. Sales aim to identify and fulfill the needs and desires of customers through the offering of the products and the services. Please note that when you have a product or service, you need to make sure that people will need it. For example, like I've given you the examples we have, people need insurance in oil and gas. So if it's a need, you're going to satisfy that need. Secondly, to create value for customers. The purpose of sales is to create value by providing solutions that address customer challenges and overall enhance their experience. That means if they have a challenge, let me give an example. Maybe when people are working and they need food delivered in their offices, in case you have a restaurant, if you can do delivery, that is customer challenge, and then you're providing a solution by taking the food to their offices. That is an example. Then third, driving business success. Definitely when you're selling, you want to make money. You want to have market share, you want to make profits. And that's the reason as to why we sell our products and services. Then you see, we always talk about sales and marketing together because they are twins. You know, when you market your product, it will definitely lead to sales. So here is a definition of marketing. What is marketing? This is the business of promoting and selling products or services. The objective of marketing is to create awareness of a product or service that can hold value for a customer and convince them of its worth, money, and time. Like when you market your products, definitely you're convincing people of what you have, where you're located, and then you see if they are interested. So marketing is promoting and selling at the same time. Then why do we do marketing? We do marketing to create awareness. This is to inform customers about the various products that we have. It helps us to establish brand presence and also attract attention in the marketplace. An example, in case you are a mechanic, you need to advertise yourself either through social media so that people can know you. And remember, in oil and gas or in other SMEs, people need transportation. And then when their cars break down, they need quick services. So you need to promote yourself and explain that for the kind of work you do, you can actually go to someone's office, pick their transportation, repair it, and take it back. So when you advertise yourself and people know you, they'll definitely call you for business. The second thing is building customer loyalty and retention. When you market and you market constantly, definitely people never forget you. That's how you build customer loyalty and people continue buying your products. Then third is to generate sales and leads. This is to convert all the people that you've advertised to, you've marketed to your product, to be interested in your product, and afterwards they buy it, and this will help you grow revenues. So we have some various techniques we use when you're selling to people your product. Please note that we are talking about SMEs. That means we are promoting and encouraging everyone with their small businesses to know how to promote yourself and sell your products. This can be in insurance, it can be in hospitality, it can be in transportation, it can be in welding. So you need to promote yourself and sell your product so that people can be interested and buy it, so that you make money and they also benefit from the service that you're offering. So the various techniques that we have prospecting and lead generation. Like I told you, prospecting is looking for potential customers and building relationships with them. How do you look for potential customers? You can do cold calling, whereby you can get a book, look through and see all the service providers or the businesses that are there, and you call and seek an appointment to go and explain your product. Second, you can use social media. Social media, you can check through Instagram, Google, LinkedIn, Twitter, and then you promote your product and service there so that people can know it, and then they engage when they start asking what your product is about. Then you can do emailing. If you realize there's some people whereby you can get a list and then send them email about your products and services. Then you can also have referrals, whereby you start small when you have referrals. You can start with your friends, you can start with your colleagues. Then also you need to network, attend all the events that are available in the industry, and then share your products and services, and you see if they can satisfy the customer need. Then please, you can also attend events. You see, like recently we had the trade show. That would be a good place where you can go showcase your product or services. People inquire, you give them your business cards, and then that would be a good way to bring in sales of your product and service. So after prospecting, you need to explain what your product is. So sometimes there's what we call storytelling. Storytelling is in form of an advert. This is when you create an advert and you tell people, did you know about this? You give the functionalities of your product or service. For example, if you're into finance, you can explain to people how taxes can be paid. Then you can explain maybe IFRS if they have issues. Then for SMEs who don't have books of accounts, you need to explain to them that they need to have books of accounts so that they can pay taxes yearly, and then they know their profits, they know their expenses. So that is storytelling when you're explaining to people your benefit. Then there's also what they call spin selling. Spin selling is when you have a new product and you want to convince people to buy it. So what do? You need to ask specific questions. For example, in case you sell detergents that can be used to mop maybe in offices, you need to ask specific questions. Do you have cleaning services in your offices? They respond to you. Then you tell them, do you have the liquids that can be used in your offices? If they say they don't, that's when you demonstrate that this is the product they can use, and then you convince them to buy your product. Then, much as we said that sales and marketing move together, there are some differences between sales and marketing. So I'm going to break down a few of the differences. So sales focuses mostly on converting customers or potential customers into paying customers. That is for sales. It is converting potential into actually paying customers, which can lead to generating revenue and closing a deal. Whereas marketing focuses on creating awareness, building relationships with customers, and generating interest of a product or service. Marketing is about attracting customers that can lead them into potential. So sales is short-term, marketing is a long-term activity. So when it comes to target audience, sales, we really target the people who are willing to buy and we seal the deal. Whereas marketing, we consider a larger audience that may not be aware of your product or service. Like I told you, don't keep your products, if you're an SME, please don't keep them in a container and think that they will sell themselves. You need to market them so that people are aware of your product, and then you will raise awareness that can lead to sales. So marketing is broader, it takes time. When you're marketing, you cannot market in one day. You need to start slowly and grow big, so it takes a longer period. Unlike sales, whereby people have been convinced, so when they are convinced, you sell immediately and you seal the deal. Then when it comes to measurements, sales are measured in conversion, like how many people have actually been interested and have bought. Then what is the size of the deal? How much revenue have you collected from this? Then with marketing, the success is how many people are talking about your product. How many people are willing to buy? How many people are engaging and getting to know more about your product? You get. So those are the slight differences between sales and marketing. And then there is also timeline, because sales have a shorter time frame. Remember, selling is about convincing, making a presentation in case they're interested, and you offer the solution. You definitely close the deal and you make money. Whereas marketing takes a longer period, because remember, you're building awareness for your product and you're nurturing the leads, meaning it can take 3 months, it can take 6 months, it can take 1 year, because you need to ensure that people continue understanding your product, its use, your location, so that they can understand it, engage with you before they start buying it, and you make money. So why should we have sales and marketing combined? We do this so that we create a unified journey for the customers and they have a very good experience. Remember, when you market yourself, people get to know what the product is, you explain its use, then the desires and needs of the customer, you explain the solutions of your product. Let me say, if it's insurance, is it life insurance, is it education? You get. Then in case you're into transportation, you need to explain how far, or do you deliver things on time? Do you move 24 hours? So that when people are convinced, they buy. So when you align sales and marketing, you create a unified journey. Secondly, it's easier to share insights. You see, when you're marketing, you need to know if you're using the right tools of marketing, so that when you come back, you change the strategy depending on what the people are telling you. You may market something and it's not making sense to the public. Imagine you're talking about shoes for a rainy season, and instead when you're marketing high heels instead of boots. So their feedback, people will be like, my friend, we don't wear heels when it's in a rainy season. You need to market boots. So it gives you clear feedback and you change tactics on your marketing. Then it also helps in defining clear processes. For example, when you market yourself and sales start coming in, it creates continuity, because the more you market, the more the leads will come in, the more people will engage, and then definitely you'll make sales, increase your revenue, increase your market share. It can also help you expand in various places in case you are in a small region. So remember that when you're talking to customers, we have some techniques that we use. And please remember that the customer is king. Whether right or wrong, the customer is always king. So you need to understand them and listen to their needs and create a good relationship with your customers, which can help you build rapport. So rapport involves creating a friendly and trusting relationship with your customers. Please note that customers usually buy from people they trust. So the moment someone tells you, I want to buy this, where are you located? And you're like, I will find you. What do you mean I will find you? You need to have a location so that they can trust you, so that if they can walk in, it is okay. If you're doing deliveries, they still trust you with their money and you deliver on time. So you need to build rapport, which is trusting and friendly. Then you need to also have active listening. Remember, customers are always complaining. Please take in those complaints and positively, and then offer solutions. Let me give an example. In case you have a restaurant and customers are telling you that they are tired of using plastic cups when you're giving them water, and they want to use glass Please listen, and then when you change, explain to them that you have changed, and then definitely they'll continue coming back. When they talk about hygiene in your place, please change it. And then in case you're into hospitality, because remember in this sector, people move a lot, even SMEs. Remember businesses, there are people who travel a lot. So in case you have accommodation and the customer is telling you that they need internet maybe in their rooms or in the restaurant, please listen to them and then offer the service. Don't start telling them, for us, we don't have this. If you want to go somewhere else, they'll definitely go. But remember, when you market yourself right, you listen to the customers, and whenever they give you feedback, you follow, and then you even inform them of the changes you've made. Definitely you make more money. And then when you build trust and rapport, please be transparent. Like I said, when someone gives you your money, like when you're delivering things maybe online, don't disappear. Please deliver so that you can have repeat business. And then be consistent in everything you do. Like when you've delivered something, can you call and find out if it is okay? Can you call and confirm if the packaging was not tampered with? Okay. Then you need to manage expectations of the customers. Set realistic goals. Like in case you're into the delivery, or in case you're a mechanic, if someone has told you their car is not doing well, when you're going to fix it, please don't tell them that it's going to take 30 minutes and you know it's going to take 2 days. Tell them it is going to take between 2 to 3 days, so that you give yourself some time and you still surprise them. You may say it's going to take 2 to 3 days. However, you deliver in 1 day. So that will create the expectations of the client will be limited and they will be happy, and this will lead to continued business. Then you also need to resolve conflicts of the customers, but you need to do it professionally. For example, in case you bought something and it broke when you were delivering something, please do not quarrel with the customers. First of all, be empathetic, apologize, and then find out what happened. Was it broken during transportation or when it arrived? And then, in case it was during that, do you offer like replacement? Please don't tell them that goods once sold, not returned. That is not good for business if you want to grow. Always have room to talk to customers and you maintain positivity. You know, when they have a good customer experience, they'll definitely always come back and buy your products or use your services. So we are going to talk about a customer. Like I told you, a customer is king. A customer is very crucial in an organization. So who is a customer? A customer is an individual or organization that buys goods or services from a business. Remember, these are the lifeblood of any business to help us generate revenue and definitely awareness. Please remember, a customer is always king, depending on all the products you have. Remember, these are SMEs. Always try to listen to your customers, because they're the ones who give you business, they make you aware, they give you referrals, and definitely whenever you have repeat business, you grow your sales. So you need to understand customer needs. You know, customers buy things based on various reasons. People buy products or services based on very many reasons. And here we're going to have some examples. There are some practical reasons why people buy their products or services. An example is the functional needs. You know, people buy something that they want to use easily. They want to use easily and it is convenient. For example, in case someone wants to buy a phone. When they want to buy a phone, they want a phone that can take pictures, can send messages, can record, can pick up very many apps. Then others want to buy maybe a laundry detergent that can help them remove stains. Please note that customers buy things based on functional needs, something that they will use. It has to be convenient, it has to be easy to use. Those are the functional needs. So make sure that the products or services you offer, customers can use. Definitely, an example is like in finance. In finance, you need to explain that when they open an app, whereby people maybe can transfer money, it is okay. It doesn't mean that your phone has to black out whenever you download that app. Then we also have psychological needs. These are the emotional or social motivations that drive a customer's purchase. They tap into the desires or fears or aspirations. You know, people sometimes buy things based on what they have seen, and it depends on also your marketing. Because when you market well, definitely people will remember. You get. So people buy things to feel safe, to feel secure. Yes. Now remember, in case you have a restaurant, do you have ample parking space? Restaurant, your location, are you branded properly? Are your people wearing uniforms when they are serving people? Yes. And then when they come in, do they welcome them, or they just look at them and wait for them to sit? So those are the emotional or psychological needs that people buy. Then there's also for social status. You're getting it. If you realize the world is now moving into digital, so people like things that are fast. So in case someone is very busy, like a manager, and maybe you're a mechanic, do you move faster to go and sort their problem, return their car? Nothing has been stolen. You know, some people usually leave money in their cars when they are in a rush, or they assume it's safe. So when you're a mechanic, hope you're not stealing this money and you're trustworthy. You get. So people will believe in you, and definitely they'll buy your product. So we have some customer retention strategies, because remember, whenever you have customers, you have to keep maintaining them so that they can also refer you, then they can recommend you somewhere else, and then there's also need for repeat business. So how do we retain customers? There are very many techniques that we can use to retain customers, to maintain the sales that we have, and also grow the revenue of either the product or the service we have. The first one is to build strong relationships with the customers. First of all, you need to provide excellent customer service. It has to be efficient and friendly. And please note, when you're also reviewing the issues of the customers, you have to resolve them promptly. When someone calls you to complain on your product or service, please listen to them and then get back to them. Don't tell them you don't know what's going on, then you tell them you get back to them in 1 week or 2. That is not right. Then secondly, you need to personalize the experience. You get what I'm saying? You've seen with banking, they send messages, they tell you happy birthday in case you bank with them. On special occasions like independence, they wish you happy independence. They wish you happy NRM day. They wish you Janan Room Day because you're in a specific bank. So in case you have clients, please collect this data so that you can have that personalized experience. Wish them happy birthday, and then tell them maybe the treats you have for that day. For example, in case you're in hospitality, that is hotels and accommodation, give a discount for your customer who has been there on a special occasion. You're like, happy birthday. Today, in case you're planning to sleep in this hotel, we are offering maybe 20% discount on accommodation and breakfast. That will definitely make customers come back more and more. Then how to still maintain customers, you have to ensure that you deliver high quality products and services. Please, please, especially people in SMEs, don't put or promote or advertise products that you know you don't have, or products that are not available. When you're marketing yourself, don't bring a package that is blue. When it comes to delivering, you're bringing a package that is yellow and it's half. Please ensure that all the products and services you offer are consistent and exceed expectations of the customer. Second, you need to offer competitive pricing. Remember, all of us mind about our money, and you know the economy has been tight. So make sure that the products you're selling are favorable. The price can fit in the pocket and it's a good deal. When I buy something, it is worth it. You get what I'm saying? Please don't, let me give an example, maybe in case you have a restaurant. Don't sell matoke that is everywhere. Yours should be, if it's 5,000, try to make maybe change to 4, 5, or 6,000. But please don't be at 20,000 when there's nothing unique about the matoke, you've not even put a salad, and you're saying that is your standard price because of your venue. No, no, no. You must consider the pricing and the budget of the person who is willing to buy your product. Then the other thing is, please, whenever customers tell you something, always improve on your products. If they've told you this is nice, but you need to improve on this, please do it. If you can't, have an option and say, this I could not do, but I brought in this option. Yes? Then create a community. You see, when you create a community, people always support you. How? You can have a WhatsApp group whereby all your customers can talk about the food. You can share there the menus. Then they can all gather. You inform them about the parties. Then you can also create sports events. Let me give an example. In case you're in the Albertine region and you realize that all the people who work there need to relax, and you create a sports gala where people can exercise, please create a group whereby you remind them that each weekend or every once a month they can come and compete against themselves. And the unique thing you can do is provide jerseys. That is very good. You can provide jerseys, and definitely whenever they look at the jersey, they'll remember and come at that pitch. Then finally, you can also have subscription services. Remember how to maintain customers. Whenever you have customers, please have them subscribe to something so that they can have a lower price compared to someone who buys randomly. Whenever you have customers who buy on a daily basis, maybe monthly or weekly, offer subscription so that when the prices reduce, they continue buying and they can still refer. That will lead to more sales and generating revenue. And it's also a good way of marketing yourself, because whenever you offer subscription, definitely they will be referring to you whenever they are telling their colleagues of something. That, like, you see, whenever this one promotes their product, there's always half price, or there are these Wednesdays, or there are these Friday discounts that you offer. This will help you increase in your sales and generate revenue. So why do we need to ensure that customers are empowered? Remember, when you talk to customers and they give you feedback, it gives them an experience, and then they'll be attached to your product or your brand or your service. They're like, you see, when those people, when I talk to them and I tell them my problems or I need a solution, they always acknowledge and they do the changes. And then you need to also have some reward and recognition for the customers. Why? Because you see, whenever people buy from you, please appreciate them, because they have come to you. They would have gone to someone else. You get? But the moment they come to you, give them a discount. Let me give you an example. In case you are a mechanic and someone has come with a problem, when you have done it, can you offer some small services like maybe adding water into the engine, you know, those after sale services? Can you bring back a clean car? If someone has given you a car that is dirty, when you're finished repairing, can you wash the car and return a clean car? That is a good after sale service, and they will definitely continue coming back to you. And then, you know, when you're doing sales and marketing, you need to sometimes do research so that you understand which people you're going to target, if they even understand what your product is. And then when you're looking for customers, you need to know if you have competition. So, like I said, marketing is the business of promoting and selling products and services. So why do we do market research? What is market research? Market research is the systematic process of collecting information about a market, a product or service, and the potential customers for the product or the service you're offering. It is essentially gathering data to understand how a business can best serve its target audience. So why is it important to do market research? It is important to do market research so that you understand who your customers are and what their needs are. Okay, so like we said, in the small and medium enterprises, we have very many businesses. But you see, you need to go out and find out, are you the only one who is doing this business? What do the customers need? You get? Then second, it also helps you to refine your product and service. You know, whenever you do research, there are always positives and negatives. People can decide to tell you that maybe you need to improve on your packaging, maybe you need to put a name so that people can remember the name of your product. Then when you do market research, it also helps you evaluate the competition. You need to understand what are your strengths, what are the opportunities that are there. Then your competitors, what are the weaknesses that you can counter so that you can improve on your product and service. Then it also helps you make informed decisions, business decisions. You see, when you do market research, it helps you understand how you're going to market your products. And especially for SMEs, if you know you cannot afford the big advertising for your product or services, that is either the TV or the radio or the print, you can start small by using social media. Then also on social media, you need to understand where can your products move faster. Then another thing, it can help you when you do market research, it helps you identify opportunities in an area. An example is that you may have been located in one region, but when you do research and you talk about your products, people may tell you that they also need them in the other regions. So it is very important to do market research that can help you identify the trends that are happening, either they are social or economic or government. And remember now, the big thing is the oil and gas sector. So if you know that we are now into the oil and gas sector, you need to tap into the opportunities. What do they need? In case you are in insurance, you need to understand, do the employees there need insurance, life or education? Then if you're into accommodation, you need to tap into and find out, do they need accommodation in Central or in the Albertine region? In case you have a restaurant, you need to find out the kind of employees that they have. Are they multinational? So will you have to do all kinds of foods, or will you have to do specific foods for the locals? And then still, in case you're into a restaurant, can you do deliveries in their offices? You need to inquire so that you understand customer needs, so that you can make sales, you can market properly, and then definitely make revenue. So that is it for now.
Oh, thank you, Madam Gloria, for the presentation. We've presented elaborate and detailed, and so far we have had some good insights into what it takes for a small company to survive in this wide market of ours. You must understand very many concepts. You must understand sales. You must understand marketing. We have seen the sales as an exchange for goods. So you as an SME, what goods do you have?
Yes.
How do you exchange them? You have also highlighted the purpose of sales, which is it creates value, it creates success of a business. Because sales means you are earning. Sales basically means you are putting something in your pocket and basically strengthening your small company or organization. You have also touched on the marketing, which is whose purpose is largely to promote and sell your products.
Yes.
You have also differentiated the sales and marketing by explaining to us that in sales you are closing the deal. It is that exchange which happens that time when you exchange money and the product. While marketing is long term. It's a brand awareness. It builds relationships. It's basically in for a long time.
Yes.
After the business. Then you have also talked about sales techniques, building rapport with your clients, listening to your clients, and having a story with them, not just running. You have also given us what a customer is all about. The customer is king for you, the producer, for you, the business owner.
Yes.
You can't survive without
a customer.
Yes. That's for sure. Then you have advised our SMEs or our product producers to understand customer needs, to always look out for their psychological needs. What What do they want? How do they, look at like whatever time you have them, gauge them.
Yes.
See what the customer, what will bring that customer back. You have also discussed the social status of the client. This customer wants what type of product, because he lives where.
Yes.
He wants to go in the public and feel like who. So you must have the power in your head to realize this customer is probably from Yenga, so the product may have to change. Then you have also emphasized delivery of high quality products. Don't lie your customer that you have an HP when it is the HTP.
HTP, or when you have Panasonic instead of Panasonic.
Exactly. So you have advised that as a business person, always make sure your product is the real one.
Yes.
Because the customer may take the wrong one and never comes back.
And definitely, they never come back whenever they take a wrong product.
Exactly. You have also advised that we should do, as business owners, we should always check out the pricing in the general market.
Yes.
So that we offer better prices for our clients. And then finally, you also said, reward your customers. You have a customer who comes all the time, jumps so many shops, drives a lot of distances, comes directly to you. You're advising that such a customer, such a client, always give them, some discount or some appreciation of some sort. Then you have also touched on market research and its importance. And for our SMEs out there, market research is one of the biggest and most important components, I think, in your presentation. Because you just cannot just storm a place.
Yes.
And you have a product, probably they don't use that product in that area. And you went there, you have used a lot of money, you have advertised, you have used trucks, transport, and you reach there, those people don't eat whatever you are selling or don't use it at all. So you are advised to understand the clientele you are dealing with, what are their tastes, and before you go there, understand what your clients need, what are their vulnerabilities, what are they buying from very far.
Yes.
That you can give them. Then you have also, in the market research, you have also advised for refining the product. You defining the product. You define what the product you have.
Yeah.
Also, you gauge the threats and opportunities in the market. Do you have a competitor? Do you have somebody out there who is who's going to give you a hard time? So that by the time you take the decision, you know where to begin from. Then you have also advised that check on this one is about the same, check on the competitors, because when you do research, you really, and then you end up understanding who is there, who else. I'm there with who.
You're there with who,
and that person.
What is the pricing?
Exactly.
What is the packaging?
And what can I take advantage from that individual that he's probably not fulfilling well?
Yes.
So now, and thank you for that presentation. Now I have some people who are following us online, and they have a few comments, and I can read for them. Most of them are appreciating. We have Amina Bukenya who's saying marketing is a hearty topic. So that one is listening with all the heart. We have Mr. Prosi who says nice topic. Somebody is asking here, Mr. Don Seba, kindly evaluate more on evaluating competition. I think he's saying maybe you touch a little bit more, you explain a little bit more on competition.
On competition?
Yes.
Okay, so when you have a product or you're offering a service, you need to first of all find out if there are other people who are doing the same. So how do you find out? Sometimes you need to go there and find out how they are doing it. Is it different from you? Are they better than you? Can you copy from them? Point number one. Yes. 2 is research on the pricing. Are you more expensive and that's why they are going there? Or are you at the same rate? So if you're at the same rate and you want to beat that person, you just reduce on your pricing. By a small margin, of course. Don't reduce whereby you're making losses. Reduce by a small margin. And then there are customer care. You need to understand competition. Customer care, how are their services there when you go to that place? Are they branded very well? You're getting what I'm saying? Yes. Are they branded very well? Are the people in there dressed very well. Do they know the product they are talking about? Because you see, sometimes in SMEs, what we fail to do is that when the owner of the business understands it, they fail to train the support, and that is the customer care team, to also understand the product, and they explain it well to the people. Okay. So you need to know your competition via customer service, yes, pricing, location. Yes. Are they branded properly? Can they easily be seen? Because you may wonder why people always go there, yet for them they have a big office. Maybe they have a big brand outside, and then they explain what they do exactly before you go there. So it's good to evaluate competition, first of all, by going there. You can also Google them, you know. You Google and you see where they are winning you.
Mr. Katamba, nice presentation, Madam Gloria. Mr. I don't know that's Mr. but Fleming is Kim. Nice presentation, Gloria, great insights. And Purity Consolata, Purity says Zakera Baratur, I think, has taken advantage to also advertise, which is not a bad thing. I think that's learning immediately. So we appreciate so I have also some questions which have come in. Yeah. This one is asking, why is sales and marketing important? You may have touched it earlier, but you can expound it a little bit more, okay, for this individual. Maybe came in late.
Okay. So sales and marketing are very important because, first of all, when you market yourself, you're building awareness of a product. Some people may know your product, others may not even be aware that you exist. So when you market yourself out there, especially people in the SME, when you talk about yourself, you're generating interest for the people to know your product. So point number one, it is awareness. Number two is to build relationships. Remember, when you go there and you have a product, you're talking to people. They need to understand, do they need it or they don't? If they don't need it, can they advise you to go somewhere else where they'll need your product? So it is to create also relationships and build relationships for your customers. The other thing is market expansion. You know, SMEs, like I've said, it is small, medium enterprises. So it will help you expand and you become a big one. Remember, you've started small. Yes, you've started small. So you need to do research and find out if people in other places also need your product or service. So when you promote yourself, they're like, oh yes, you see, I come from Barara, maybe I need this and this. Do you think you can open maybe a shop there? Yes. And then the other thing is to definitely make money. We all do sales and marketing to create and generate revenue at the end of the day for the business so that it can grow and also be profitable.
Oh, thank you very much. In the sales and marketing, if I come across the word demographics, what should I look out for?
So for demographics, we are talking about the characteristics of a population. When you're selling, you need to understand various characteristics of people. First of all, let's talk about age. When you have a product or service, who are you targeting in terms of age? Are you targeting Bazukuru or you're targeting the older people? So you have to segment your product or service depending on what you offer. Some target all. Let me say hospitality targets all. Restaurants target all. Mechanics, that's when you start breaking it down. You target the people who have cars. What is their age? At what age do we begin driving? Is it from 18 to 24? Or are you targeting the richer ones? Then in case it's a company and they have trucks, that's when you go higher. So we have demographics in terms of age. We have demographics in terms of status. Your product or service, what are you targeting? Are you targeting married people? Are you targeting singles? Are you targeting the other team that don't know where they fall? Then there is also religion. Those are all kinds of demographics. There is religion. In your product or service, are you targeting the Muslims? Are you targeting the saved people, Pentecostal, Anglican, Catholic? Because remember, when you know, there are certain things you don't need to do. You're getting it. And then there is also what we call occupation in demographics. Are you targeting people that are fully employed? Are you targeting contractors? Are you targeting people that are part-time employees? So those are the various things. Then we also have the regions. So all those are kinds of demographics. There's also regions. Are you targeting people in the central? Right now, because we're into the oil and gas sector, I'm sure most of the SMEs will be targeting in the Albertine. Yes. So that would be, you'd need to understand all that.
I have learned, you know, learning never ends. My understanding of demographics ended with age, but now today you are telling me it means many things. Married people, yes. It's separation of what we do, our age, our religions. I had no idea. Yeah, thank you very much for this explanation. I was completely unaware that demographics may involve other things.
It also involves income.
You can see.
Yes. The people you're targeting, how much are they earning? So that now that's when you can level your pricing. If you're targeting high income earners who are like MDs, definitely your prices are always up there. So if you're targeting contractors, part-time employees, definitely your product or service should fit into their wallet. Yes.
Thank you very much. What is a market mix? If I say a market mix in this arrangement, what do I mean?
A market mix is a combination of very many elements. And I think that one we shall talk about it in next session.
Next session.
Reason being, it involves your product, location, all those things that will attract people to come to your, to get your product or service. Okay. So it will be in our next session, and I'll explain it in detail.
Okay, maybe you can also, as a salesperson, what could be my primary role if my boss at the SME, the company we own, sends me as a salesperson? What should I be doing out there in the market as a salesperson?
So as a salesperson, first of all, you need to go and look for customers. And look for many customers, as many as possible. As a salesperson, you need to explain the product to your customers. And then you also need to understand if they need it. Remember, if it's a new product, they might need it when you explain to them its functionality. And then, if you're a salesperson and you have an SME, you need to understand if whatever you're selling, product or service, is a solution to your customer. Point number one. Then point number two, after listening to the customer, make a presentation, please. Talk about your profile, your company, talk about your location, talk about all the services you offer, yes, as a salesperson. Then afterwards, you need to keep following up to find out if they are now interested in the product. Then sometimes you also need to demonstrate. In case it is a product, you need to demonstrate how it works. Then after demonstrating, you follow up, and then you seal the deal when they're interested.
I have a few more questions. Here is Mr. Maga Steven is asking, what are the most effective digital marketing channels? Is it in the next one? Or
okay, it is in the next one, but now we can talk about the digital channels right now. Currently, it depends on, first of all, the kind of product or service you have. For example, you will not find financial services on TikTok. Financial services will definitely be on Twitter or Facebook. So it depends on what product or service you have, but there are various digital channels. We have social media, which has Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, but it varies on what product or service that you offer. Yes. Then we also have website, whereby you can put, you create a website for yourself, you put content there, you put videos, you explain to people what you do. Then we also have what we call email marketing. Email marketing is when you get a database of people. Yes. You get a database and then you send them emails of all your products and services. You just send to various people. You see, like how we have SMS media, how people send those messages of people wanting to get married and they remember to send an SMS when they want contribution. That kind. So we have email marketing, we have social media, we have search engine optimization. There are various kinds, but remember it has to depend on your product or service and you see where your target market is. We also have WhatsApp.
Thank you. This one is very interesting. It is from Wanyana Lydia, and she's asking, how do I handle objections from potential customers?
Okay. So what happens is this, usually when you have a product or service, definitely clients will complain. Either it is very expensive, or maybe you have a product, it is too small, or your services are very expensive. So you need to always explain the reason as to why you have such things. Maybe you have a small product so that they don't create health issues. Let me give an example, like when you serve a lot of food, someone can bloat and become sick. But when you serve portions, they'll be fine. Then when you have a service like finance, when it comes to taxation and maybe auditing, they need to explain why they are expensive and why you need to do a process by process. So that's how you handle objections, like you explain further the importance of your product or service, and then definitely they are convinced, and then they'll continue with your product or service.
And have Mark Extreme. Thank you, Gloria. I learned a lot. How do you deal with pricing when you are starting out while you're trying to play in the same field with already established companies that have a lower cost of production?
Okay. So first of all, with pricing, when you know the already existing companies, please first do research to ensure that when you're pricing yourself, you also don't suffer an expense when you reduce your prices. And because you're doing penetration and there are already people competing, definitely there's always a discount. Promote, when you know there are already people there, promote with a discount when you're starting. So that when people come in, after 3 months or 6 months, you can put on the same price with your competition. But when you're starting in, always start with a lower price or a discount. Or do a promotion. You can do when you buy one, or when you buy two, you get a quarter, or you get one free. Yes.
Then, and I'm start down again. How do I position myself as an individual during marketing so that I may impress a customer and make a sale to them easily? I know you have understood the question. How do I position myself as an individual during marketing so that I may impress a customer and make a sale to them easily?
First of all, presentation matters. You see, when you're going to sell yourself, presentation matters. Much as you have a good product, as long as you don't look like your product, people will never listen to you. So definitely, if you're into, let me give an example, if you're into finance, make sure you're presentable. Go in a suit. Don't go in a t-shirt thinking that because you have the brains, everyone will listen to you. Be presentable. Even when you're a mechanic, the only difference is that when you're a mechanic, dress smartly but work with your gadgets in a clean bag, like maybe a branded box. Yes. So afterwards, presentation matters, because that's what customers buy first. They buy you first before they buy whatever you're going to offer. Then afterwards, talk about your product. Then seek an appointment. Seek an appointment so that you can find out which other people you need to explain to the product and what processes they need before they can now access your products or services.
Thank you very much. There's some shout out to you, Shira Kasimire. Very insightful presentation. Understanding the difference between sales and marketing is a great takeaway. That one is a plus for Madam Gloria. Thank you very much for our people online. They are asking so many questions, which is good. That means they are listening in. Mr. Innocent Kawaya, great presentation, expert Gloria. What are the integration points for a sustainable, intertwined, integrated market strategy that that caters for online and offline? It's I can repeat the question. It's a bit. What are the integration points for a sustainable, intertwined, integrated marketing strategy that caters for online and offline?
Oh, so offline, online and offline. That means offline, either you're doing referrals or you're doing now the above, which is print, radio, and TV.
Yes.
Then for online, when you're doing an integration, please make sure that when you're marketing your products, you market on all for sustainability. Let me ask, if you have like all social media, ensure that you create all the platforms. For example, if you're on LinkedIn, make sure that the things that you're putting there resonate throughout. Don't put different stories or different content depending, especially for online. In case you've done a video for your product or service, you need to ensure that it's uniform throughout. That's how you integrate. So that when it's on Instagram, it's the same. It's the same on Twitter. It's the same on Facebook, same on WhatsApp. So that when someone opens, it's the same information flowing. I think that's the integration he made. And then offline, I'm sure we are going back now to the upper, whereby we need to do the TV, the print, radio advertising. Yes. Then you can also do BTL. You can do promotions. Then you can do billboards. That would be offline.
And there's another question from John. Though you touched on it already, how does customer behavior influence marketing strategy?
Customer behavior.
Yes. How does customer behavior influence marketing strategy?
Okay. Like I said, customer is king. So remember that customers keep evolving depending on the trends. Yes. So you also need to do research on how customers are buying their products. Are they buying directly? Are they buying online? Do they buy and do they want delivery? So you also need to do research on that behavior. Yes. And then you see if you can follow up and give either your product or your service depending on their needs.
Okay.
Yes, because remember the trends keep changing. Some people like coming to a physical place. Ensure that also your physical place is visible, the branding is there, so that when they walk in, they can still buy from you.
That is.
So it depends. Then also modes of payment.
Yes.
You need to understand their modes of payment. Some people want to pay cash, others want to do mobile money, then some customers want to give you a check. So you need to understand how they want to buy their products, and then accessibility and delivery.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Michael is asking, how does one build a brand loyalty? Though you talked about it, maybe just rehighlighting for them, but I remember you explained about it.
Okay, so how you build brand loyalty? First of all, you need to have excellent customer service. And when we talk about customer service, we need, first of all, like when people come into your business, are they welcomed properly? Are they explaining to them your product or service properly? Are you also teaching them how to use the product? Because there are some people, when you buy something, they just send to you with no operational tools on how you will use the product or service. Yes. So excellent customer service can build loyalty. Then secondly, you need to reward your customers, like we said. How do you reward your customers? You can give discounts whenever they do repeat business. Then you can also give some messages as well. You see, like I told you, you can wish them a happy birthday in case you have their data. You can send them small gifts, like depending on the product or service you have. Yes, you can even give a notebook appreciating them for being your customer, maybe for a whole year. You see, the moment someone sees you and remembers your brand, they'll always come back. Then you can also brand your customers. How you have customer loyalty, because they will have something to remember and always come back to you.
Generally,
You see, that one, it depends on the product or service that you have.
Yes.
But remember, whenever you're starting, especially people in the small, medium enterprises, please promote yourself. You can start small. Start by buying data. Start with WhatsApp. Put whatever product or service you have on your status so that people can see it. Then share with friends, share with colleagues, and then they can also, it depends, because remember there are these SMEs, of course, you start small, they cannot have that instant money compared to the big people who roll out big like the telecoms. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, because that's a very interesting area. Sometimes we suffer. There is this illustration they normally give, where somebody dug, looking for gold, dug, when he was about to reach,
He gave up.
The one who came next, he hit once and everything. So that's why I was asking how much of a budget. Because sometimes you really go out to do a lot of marketing, and of course now clients understand. They know you are there. They even prepare it, start with it for you. You just buy your things and you buy them. They come, you are good because you thought you have reached the end of it.
Okay, so what happens is this. Remember, that's why marketing and sales work together. Whenever you market and you start small, remember you start bringing in money because you're promoting yourself and selling some product. So that money that you bring in can be used to again improve on your advertising so that you become bigger, biggest.
In Africa, Doreen, appreciating this presentation is very meaningful. Roshan, I appreciate a lot. Farouk of Nasha Auto Center, that's where she works. Monge Kasim, this is very informative, thank you. Sharif Anabuko, Zaki Laboratory appreciates. And yeah, those are the ones which are so far whom I have marked. There should just be some percentage of what I produce, because there's where they say you are going. So at what point do I realize at least I'm broken even?
You've broken even is when you market something and the budget you market is to bring in the product, like 100,000 to market, maybe using social media. And then when you start doing your sales, you've brought in 100,000 still, or 120. You're breaking even, or you're beginning to bring profits. Yes, that's how you can know.
Because many times people don't understand at what point they are broken even. But now, if you are an SME out there, this explanation from God should help you to understand that, okay, I've broken even now. If I go above this even, I'm beginning to return, make some returns on my money.
The moment you start seeing a profit from your expense of marketing,
yes,
definitely you're bringing in more returns.
You're bringing returns. And there is a Harriet here who is asking, how does one choose a marketing channel? How do I decide that this channel is the best for me?
So like we said, when you do market research, remember, you will understand what your customers need, yes? So how do you choose a channel? First of all, do research and know where is your product and service going? Who are your customers? You get, like I said, if you're targeting the youth, you know where the youth are. The youth are all on social media. If you're targeting, let me say like this big organization, for example, if you're targeting CNOOC or Vector Energies, definitely you need to go higher. You need to know that these ones, to see you quickly before you look for business, you need to advertise maybe on TV, you need to have conversations on Twitter, you need to maybe put an advert in the papers, either Vision or Monitor, then radio stations are very many. So depending, yes. So you choose a channel depending on the customers and the target. Now, and the location as well.
Well, thank you very much. Now with our kind of Uganda, with its unbalanced demographics, rural here, town there, educated here. What are some of the challenges one would face? Figuring out how to
to penetrate
them really.
So that's why you see it's good that, like I said, we believe in data. You know, when you have a product, don't just wake up and say it will sell it. Please first go out and find out. First go out and find out if people actually even need your product. Then start by sampling. You get? Start by also sampling your product or your service. Do one free, don't do 20 free. So it depends. So you need to invest. It's a sacrifice. That's why they said marketing also needs money. So you need to go out there, sample your products, talk about them, and then you know if this is a rural place where you thought it was urban, then you say the informal people but actually have money and they can buy their product. Yes. So it's good when you have data where you can start from, not just sitting there and imagining that people are going to just know you have a product and then they come for it. No. You need to go out there, talk about it.
So basically you need to go, you need to first gather information.
Yes.
So that you don't put resources in a smaller demographic,
Yeah.
yet you would have needed them in the other group. That is insightful.
Exactly.
And Mr. Vicky is asking, Mrs. Vicky is asking, what role does customer relationship management play in sales?
So customer relationship management helps first of all build the sales. Remember you're talking to a customer every day. First of all, you're explaining to them the product or the service you're offering. Yes. And whenever they have challenges, they come to you first. You see, that is customer relationship. When they give you feedback, either positive or negative, have you made the changes? Have you made the changes? Have you said you're going to improve on your product or service? And then you go back and you inform them of the changes that you've made. You get? So customer relationship management is very important, because the more you talk to a customer, the more you engage with the customer, the more they will continue buying, and definitely you'll make sales. But please remember, they always have feedback to give you. When they give you the feedback, you have to take it back to the company, tell them what changes you need to make. And then whenever you even launch a new product, because remember when you start small like SME, even the packaging, you can start with small packaging. If you increase the size, you still go back to the same customer and explain to them that you've increased in your packaging. In case you've changed location, remember, because remember some businesses, when they are growing, they start from small places and then they expand and they need to change location. So as long as you're talking to the customer, you need to always give feedback, talk about the changes you're doing so that they can continue buying from you, and then also understanding and knowing the changes you're doing in your organization.
Okay, like in our circumstances now, CNOOC is sponsoring this lecture or presentations to our SMEs on understanding that some are involved in the oil and gas sector, yes, or others might be, enticed to join the sector. From your perspective of marketing, if Magezi had a small company, what should I be trying to market in Uganda's oil sector? From your observation as of now.
From my observation, remember, this company is big and has a lot, like I told you. So, Mr. Magezi, maybe you have a restaurant. Aren't you sure that the people there need to eat food?
That's true.
So you need to market yourself, talk about it. Then what are the unique things that you're offering that are not in other places? So maybe for you, instead of doing just the local food in this country, because the oil and gas sector employs a multitude of people or multinationals, you try to tell them that you can offer all the services, like all the various, you get. And then there's also insurance. People need insurance because remember, we have people who go into the drilling, people who go into the welding. So also insurance would be a good place. Then transportation. Remember all the things that we use. Some are from here, manufacturers, then some you need to import. So you need to confirm if they need transport to collect those things. So there are very, very many opportunities that you can tap into. And the other thing we can tell people, our viewers, is that always research, go on the internet, find out the sectors that are needed in the oil and gas or in Vector Energies. Please Google, look for information and find out where you can tap into the business and see if your product and service can fit that. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You are very right, because remember, there is also, in that very oil and gas sector now, the Bunyoro area, there is now also an airport, which has also increased the sorts of services they will need.
Yeah.
There will be waste management. If you are an expert in waste management, you're definitely going to find business there.
Yes.
So basically, like you said, it's research. You go to the market and see,
Yes,
with oil in this area, what are the likely services that are going to be a must.
And then the good thing with CNOOC and then this online enterprise development program that we are having, definitely they also share information. Don't just go there thinking, oh, I have a product, let me just go and attack. No. Please do research. Read about them. Find out all the services they need, all the products they might need. and then you see if your product or service fits in, and then you go and sell it and present yourself.
That's true. What somebody is asking here, I think it is Bonnie. What are the most common sales techniques? I think it means if I'm a salesperson, what are the, say the top 3 techniques I should go with?
Oh, so
Interesting.
top
question.
3 techniques. First of all, it's presentation. Please profile your business.
Yeah.
Profile your business. You need to tell us what your business is, your location, the product or service you offer. Next thing is then you need to listen. You know, after profiling, remember clients they also have questions.
Yes.
They will ask you, what is this? Are you sure it will benefit? Please explain to them further. And then if you have demonstrations, show the demonstrations. Yes. Show how a product will work. In case you have a video or you have an actual demonstration, please show. Then afterwards, always follow up. Please do presentations. You see, when you're going somewhere, don't just go and talk. Have a presentation that you can leave there. Have business cards. Then also the way you look, you get. Those are the techniques. So it is prospecting, then making presentations, and then definitely closing the deal.
Our listeners and viewers online, they are still sending in thanks. Habib says thank you. Sarah, I really needed this topic. I'm impressed. Thank you, Gloria. Seromba Ashiri, I am impressed with this topic. Stephen Odokorach, I'm impressed with this topic as well. So basically, there is a lot of appreciation on the topic. I wanted to ask you, there are some businesses like law firms. I think even insurance, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
I'm told legally they're not allowed to advertise. So what the methods they use, for example, now to join the oil and gas sector?
So like I told you, there are some people, like you've said, is it law firms, insurance? No, insurance is allowed to advertise.
Those are allowed.
Maybe the health sector as well. They're not allowed to advertise. So these are the ones who go through other places like networking. When we organize these things like events, please go to those places and network. Then talk about your product, leave a business card there. Events, then social media. Talk about yourself. Of course, not saying I'm a doctor, I inject, please. Give some tips that in case you're in an organization, people need to be insured. So give tips on social media whereby people can read through, get information, and then engage with you so that they can now look for you. Yes, without going the mainstream advertising. Yes.
Okay,
go to events, you need to network. Yes. And then referrals. Whenever someone is treated well, either insurance or, like I've said, law firms, you still refer. You say, I had this good lawyer, he did this for me, you should try him. Yes. Networking.
Be
trustworthy.
Networking, be trustworthy.
Yes.
As long as you have somebody whom you have done the job well,
they always refer
you to. They fight to back and say,
yes,
you call Magezi, he will do he will give you a very good service.
Yes.
That is very insightful.
And then you always have to profile, like what I'm saying. In case you were a lawyer, have a leaflet of where you offer your services. Or you can put them on a business card that may be business law, marriage, I don't know if it's marriage law or something. And then they can know what kind that you can offer.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm told even these other new apps that have come, like WhatsApp, you may put it as a profile.
Yes, you can put as a profile, and then you market yourself on your phone. So
and these are the apps that we have. You have spoken about this, but you can maybe add on it. This one I think is an interesting one. Sales and marketing, what should come first?
So sales and marketing should come first. Remember, marketing should come first because people need to know who you are. People need to know your brand. People need to know the product or service you're offering. People need to know the uniqueness from the other products or services that are there. So when you market yourself first, you generate attraction. Like people want to know, they want to engage with you. Then from there, that's when they'll be like, I'm interested. How do I get this? And then the sales come in. So marketing always comes first. Promote yourself always. Talk about your product. Talk about your service. Explain. what it's the benefits of your product or service, and then afterwards you generate attraction. People know who you are before they come and initiate maybe a sale.
Actually, the other question I had almost is related to that. You can basically add on, because the question says, how do sales and marketing complement each other? So which is almost what you're explaining. Probably you can top up on it for clearer understanding.
So how do they complement each other? First of all, remember, as a customer, when someone talks about the self, you create interest in what they are talking about. So when you market yourself, you're creating awareness. And then when people start selling, they want to give a solution of your product or service that you've marketed. Yes. Then after creating awareness, you're enabling people to engage with you. When they engage with you, it is how many people come in, how many engagements are coming in, where now the sales will tap in to find out those ones that are actually interested. Because remember, some people like here, they've been saying, thank you, thank you. There are others who are like, where can I see you? So those ones of where can we meet? Where can we buy this product? Where are you located? Now that's where you send in the salespeople to go and talk to them so that they can conclude the deal. Yes. So they marry into each other, first of all, to create awareness, satisfy customer needs, and then generate money for the company.
That is very good. Like you had said earlier, these are twins.
Yes.
Sales and marketing are twins. They go with each other. Then I don't know that this one had asked, or somebody is asking about the best practices in a marketing campaign. If you are involved in a marketing campaign, what are those that you? What are those components? What are those must-dos?
Okay. So that is going to be in my next presentation.
Oh, okay. Also,
so I'll do that.
You can have it. You can have it done the next.
Yes. We shall offer the best practices.
Then we have some other question here. How do market trends affect sales planning? If I think what he's saying, this one should be almost self-explanatory. That if I have bigger sales here, I should also concentrate there.
Definitely.
Is that what I am?
So market trends, remember, these are the patterns that businesses or organizations take. They can be social, they can also be technological.
Yes.
So you need to find out, like, either your product or service, how are people wanting it? Are they wanting to buy it physically? It may depend how big you are. Or do they want a delivery? Yes. So those trends, you also need to follow them, because you see, we keep evolving. So don't be static. When someone tells you, can you deliver? And you say, it's not possible.
Okay.
When they say, can you deliver? Please move with the trend and say, we can deliver. Do you have online services? Then you create them. You can create them and maybe have a menu online where people can click. And so you need to move with the trend if you want to increase your sales and services.
Yeah, thank you very much. It has been a very elaborate presentation. The questions have been many, and that is good, because that means people are listening in, people are learning. And this is one of the most important aspects of trade. You can have all the buildings, you can have all the products, you can have all the financing, but as long as your product, as long as your service is not known, you cannot go anywhere. This has been the first part of this presentation by Madame Nabweteme Gloria. We are having a second session after a small break, and please don't go away, stay with us. The other half might even be more important than what we have just finished, but thank you for keeping with us, and we are looking forward to having you in the next 1 hour.
The Kingfisher oil fields development has evolved, reaching some significant milestones after CNOOC Uganda Limited and its joint venture partners signed the final investment decision. Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired and compensation was fully made. Cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed over to the project-affected persons Construction commenced for different aspects of the project, leading to the development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central processing facility, and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs and installation. Spudding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling outcomes, with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent camp, solar turbine transportation, EPC 3 tank erection work, and EPC 4 pipeline trenching. CNOOC will actively promote the LPG integration plan, which will gradually achieve the strategic transformation towards a green and low-carbon energy supplier. A camp integrated hydropower project has been set up, which will result in carbon dioxide emission reduction by 3,156 tons. CNOOC has continued to contribute to the Belt and Road, people-to-people exchanges, enhancing China-Africa friendship and promoting the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. CNOOC collaborates with various Ugandan universities to enhance graduate employment curriculum design and research. We have signed agreements with several institutions to support scientific research and develop talents in the oil and gas sector. CNOOC, in collaboration with 5 other Chinese companies on the Kingfisher project, spearheaded a drive that led to the donation of $500,000 to upgrade the infrastructure of the Entebbe Welfare School. This is the largest donation to education in Uganda.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sports, I would like to extend my gratitude to CNOOC Uganda Limited and the contractors of Kingfisher Oil Fields for your commitment to the cause of vulnerable and challenged children.
CNOOC sponsors international scholarships, sending Ugandan students to study in China. Under this program, a total of 11 students have been sponsored and 8 have since graduated and are currently working in the oil and gas industry.
This scholarship to me is a dream come true. I always wanted to receive a first-class education from a good school, and CNOOC has provided me with this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
CNOOC focuses on training and certification programs for skills needed in the oil and gas industry, which promotes local employment and strengthens Uganda's logistics and industrial capacity. Over 150 contractors and more than 3,000 individuals have been trained in various oil and gas skills. The company collaborates with local vocational schools to provide welder training, significantly contributing to Uganda's professional welding sector.
They took the initiative to sponsor us who are underdogs, and they want to put us somewhere. We thank them a lot. There's nothing much you can give them, but maybe use the skills properly so that they can also feel they have done some impact in the Uganda we have now.
CNOOC Youth Employment Support Program has trained over 350 local youths in various vocational skills, improving their employability and living conditions. These trainings cover welding, heavy truck driving, heavy machinery operation, engineering construction, and other skills needed in the oil and gas field development, as well as driving, tailoring, and hairdressing, among others. CNOOC invests in projects to improve community living standards, such as providing clean drinking water to over 13,000 residents in Buhuka flats, carrying out medical camps and building resettlement houses with modern amenities for 56 households. We have also invested $620,000 in maintaining critical roads and enhancing public safety. Livelihood restoration programs include donating livestock and teaching scientific breeding methods. We also work closely with the Confucius Institute of Makerere University, supporting events like the Chinese Bridge Competition and the Sound in My Heart Chinese Song Competition. CNOOC also organizes activities to celebrate Chinese culture, such as the Spring Festival. These efforts enrich cultural communication and foster mutual understanding between China and Uganda.
CNOOC Uganda Limited is committed to education and capacity building to fulfill its vision of energy for Uganda.
A rig is a group of equipment that we assemble, we test, and then we commission or operationalize to help us dig the wells, have them under control, have them completed, and get them ready for the production phase.
We have built capacity to handle equipment from the ship up to the last mile in the Kingfisher.
The convoys have been in the range of 15 to 20 trucks and driving all the way from Mombasa to Malaba in about 3 days. Then they would come from Malaba to Mukono, spend a night. Then early morning we would set off from Mukono to Hoima.
We have employed Ugandans, so that's a good way of appreciating and saying yes, it is possible that we Ugandans, we can be involved in this oil and gas, and we perform excellently.
The Kingfisher oil fields development has evolved, reaching some significant milestones after CNOOC Uganda Limited and its joint venture partners signed the final investment decision. Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired and compensation was fully made. Cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed over to the project-affected persons. Construction commenced for different aspects of the project, leading to the development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central processing facility, and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs and installation. Spudding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling outcomes, with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent camp, solar turbine transportation, EPC 3-tank erection work, and EPC 4 pipeline trenching. CNOOC will actively promote the LPG integration plan, which will gradually achieve the strategic transformation towards a green and low-carbon energy supplier. A camp integrated hydropower project has been set up, which will result in carbon dioxide emission reduction by 3,156 tons. CNOOC has continued to contribute to the Belt and Road, people-to-people exchanges, enhancing China-Africa friendship and promoting the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. CNOOC collaborates with various Ugandan universities to enhance graduate employment curriculum design and research. We have signed agreements with several institutions to support scientific research and develop talents in the oil and gas sector. CNOOC, in collaboration with 5 other Chinese companies on the Kingfisher project, spearheaded a drive that led to the donation of $500,000 to upgrade the infrastructure of the Entebbe Welfare School. This is the largest donation to education in Uganda.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sport, I would like to extend my gratitude to CNOOC Uganda Limited and the contractors of Kingfisher oil fields for your commitment to the cause of vulnerable and challenged children.
CNOOC sponsors international scholarships, sending Ugandan students to study in China. Under this program, a total of 11 students have been sponsored and 8 have since graduated and are currently working in the oil and gas industry.
This scholarship to me is a dream come true. I always wanted to receive a first-class education from a good school, and CNOOC has provided me with this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
CNOOC focuses on training and certification programs for skills needed in the oil and gas industry, which promotes local employment and strengthens Uganda's logistics and industrial capacity. Over 150 contractors and more than 3,000 individuals have been trained in various oil and gas skills. The company collaborates with local vocational schools to provide welder training, significantly contributing to Uganda's professional welding sector.
They took the initiative to sponsor us who are underdogs, and they want to put us somewhere. We thank them a lot. There's nothing much we can give them, but maybe use the skills properly so that they can also feel they have done some impact in the Uganda we have now.
CNOOC Youth Employment Support Program has trained over 350 local youths in various vocational skills, improving their employability and living conditions. These trainings cover welding, heavy truck driving, heavy machinery operation, engineering construction, and other skills needed in the oil and gas field development, as well as driving, tailoring, and hairdressing, among others. CNOOC invests in projects to improve community living standards, such as providing clean drinking water to over 13,000 residents in Buhuka flats, carrying out medical camps and building resettlement houses with modern amenities for 56 households. We have also invested 620,000 US dollars in maintaining critical roads and enhancing public safety. Livelihood restoration programs include donating livestock and teaching scientific breeding methods. We also work closely with the Confucius Institute of Makerere University, supporting events like the Chinese Bridge Competition and the Sound in My Heart Chinese Song Competition. CNOOC also organizes activities to celebrate Chinese culture, such as the Spring Festival. These efforts enrich cultural communication and foster mutual understanding between China and Uganda.
CNOOC Uganda Limited is committed to education and capacity building to fulfill its vision of energy for Uganda.
On the break, we are still discussing sales and marketing with Madame Gloria. This session of ours still the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Program, a training that focuses on small and medium enterprises. We are teaching our fellow Ugandans in that sector how to be involved in the oil and gas sector. So as you saw, the first half of the presentation, Madam Gloria took us through much of what we have to do in order to succeed. So we are continuing with her in the next session for more of sales and marketing and what are other elements that you need to look out for. Madam Gloria, you are welcome back. Let's continue.
Welcome back, viewers, once again. Remember, we had talked about sales and marketing, and the question was asked, marketing and sales, what comes first? And I explained that marketing comes first because you need to sell yourself, talk about yourself before people roll out to sell your product or service. So our next topic is marketing plan. And we are going to define what a marketing plan is and the key elements of a marketing plan. So what is a marketing plan? A marketing plan is a roadmap that outlines a company's marketing strategies and tactics for a specific period of time. Please remember that when you're SMEs, when you're beginning to sell yourself, it takes some time. It can start from 3 months when you're testing, then you increase to 6 months, you can increase to a year, and marketing never stops. So it has to be continuous so that people can always remember your business. It is a written document that guides how a business will reach its target market and achieve its marketing goals. You know, when you market yourself, it's to create awareness, attract people on your product and service, and definitely create leads that can lead to sales and then bring money for your organization. So we have some elements that are needed when you're doing a marketing plan. This is a summary that I'm going to explain in detail. So we have the situational analysis, that is doing the research, like I said. Please always use data when you're marketing your brands or your products or your services. Then we also have target market. Know the people you're targeting depending on the product or service that you have. Then we have the goals and objectives. What are your goals? Is it awareness? Is it increase revenue? Is it expand your market? Then we need to understand the marketing mix. I think there was that question, so this is where I'm going to answer it from. Then we also need to talk about marketing tactics. Then at the end of the day, that is the budget you talked about. Remember, when you're planning marketing, at the end of the day, when you're putting money out there for people to know your product, you need to have a budget so that you don't spoil and then you say you marketed and no one got to understand what your product was about. So what is situational analysis? First, we have market research, like I told you. You need to analyze the current market trends, competitor landscape, and customer needs. Like the trends we told you, they can be either social, economic, or technological trends. You need to do research so that you know that your product or service can fit in. Then you need to know the competitor landscape. How many people are there with you in this business? For example, let me give an example like in the Albertine, let me say, in case you have accommodation, how many people or how many hotels are in that area? And then are they near, are they far, is there a distance? You need to know so that you know how you're competing. And then customer needs. You need to understand through research what the customers need, like I told you. In case you have, you're into the hotel business or accommodation business, do they want breakfast, lunch, and supper, or they only want breakfast every morning, then they can have their lunch or their dinner in the offices? Then can they work from your place? Because remember, some people, especially in this sector, people move a lot, they travel a lot. So they need to have some things that are convenient for them. For example, internet. Do you have Wi-Fi in your accommodation? So that when someone comes in your place, can they work from that location? So that's what they mean when they say do market research and understand customer needs. The next is the SWOT analysis. That is, you need to evaluate your company's strength, weaknesses, and then the opportunities that are out there. And then definitely the threats. Remember, because there's competition, you need to know what other people are doing. Can you improve your product or service? Are you better? Can you change your pricing? And then the second thing is understanding your target market and the buyer persona. So this is what we talked about, that when you understand your target market, you need to talk about the demographics. This is where we talked about the various things in the demographics so that you can know exactly what your target market is. Age. Who are the people that you're targeting? Are they the youth? Are they the millennials? Are they Gen Zs? Are they baby boomers? You know, I like talking about baby boomers because these are the older people, they are the decision makers, and it depends on your product and service and who you're targeting exactly. Then location. You need to know, are you targeting the whole of the country? Are you targeting a specific region? Are you targeting central, or do you want to improve your product and it goes also international? Then we also talked about the statuses of the people. Are they married? Are they single? Are they divorced? You need to understand the products, because you see, single people want fast foods in case you have a restaurant. Married people want to sit in a place that is comfortable, that is clean, and there is no noise. They want to sit in a place that has parking in case you own a restaurant, yes? Then the other people still, in case you have delivery, they want to know if you can deliver to their offices or you can deliver to their homes. So you need to understand the target market in terms of age, in terms of location, in terms of status, occupation. Like we said, are they full-time people? Are they managers? Are they part-timers? Are they contractors? This also enables you to know how you will advertise, yes? Then the next one, you need to create your goals and objectives, like I said. What is your goal? Your goal is definitely to ensure that people know your product or service. You need to increase brand awareness. Then you need to talk about the uniqueness of your product or service compared to your competitors. Yes? And then when you're planning marketing, you need to test, what they call test driving. When you start with marketing, give it quarterly or 6 months to 1 year. Yes? You need to set so that whenever you market yourself or you advertise, you need to have feedback to find out whether it's working or not. We have examples where people market things and no one has understood. Let me give an example. You might want to market mattresses. However, you're using a doctor. I don't know if that can correlate. You need to use maybe a family whereby they are resting, and then they can understand that you use mattresses to rest or to sleep. Then we need to understand the marketing mix. Understanding the marketing mix. Previously, we used to have the 4 Ps, that is product, price, promotion, and place. Now they were improved into 7, like I said, because of the trends and how we are evolving into marketing. So you need to talk about your product. The product is the good or service offered by a business to meet customer needs. For example, the features on the product, the quality of the product, the branding of the product, and then the variations like I told you. Do you have small packaging? Do you have the big packaging? Yes. And then when we talk about product strategy, we also, let me give an example into people who are into maybe mechanics. Are you well branded? Like when people come to your location, do you have a poster there? Do you have all the mechanics dressed in uniform, showing that they know what they are doing? Do you have evidence there of the cars you have done and the repairs you've done on the various? Then do you have all the equipment used to do mechanics on a specific car, maybe for transportation? Then we also have what they call the price strategy. This is the amount of money customers must pay to acquire the product. The pricing strategies, we have discounts, we have payment terms and financing options. Like I told you, someone asked a question that in case there's already an existing company in your product and service, how do you enter using pricing? So that is the answer. You can do discounts, then you can also reduce on your pricing, or you can do a promotion around the prices. And then when people get to know your product, after knowing it, then you go back to the prices that other people are having since you're in the same industry. Then there's what they call the place and location. Please note that since these are small and medium enterprises, always have the right locations and places where people can find you. Much as you're online, when someone says where your office is, have a direction. These things of telling people, I'll get to you, they will not trust you. You need to be trustworthy and have a location that is really branded. People can come in, people can walk in, and you showcase all the products that you have maybe on display, depending on what you're offering. Then even services. In case you're offering services, people should come to you once in a while in case they don't have time, or you don't have time to go to their offices. They can come and seek your guidance at your premises. So you must have a clear location. The place must be visible, branded, hygienic, very clean, depending on the product or service that you have, so that you create trust and definitely to create loyalty. Then you also have what we call the promotion strategy. These are activities used to inform and persuade customers about products. For example, sales, advertising, sales, promotions, public relations, and personal selling. I can give an example. I don't know if you've moved around, Mr. Magezi. If you move around, you find those trucks whereby people are talking about a product. Either it is soap, a detergent, or people are talking about a mobile phone, and they move around. Those are the kind of promotions whereby you tell people about your product, and also you tell them your location. Yes. And then we also have people. And people, this is the staff or salespeople who interest your customers to deliver your service. And this is where we talked about the customer service. This is where we said, if you have an SME, please don't be the manager, the accountant, the salesperson, then you are the deliverer of the product. That is too much work. You need to delegate work. So when you have people in your organization, they may be small. Since your business is small, you can have maybe one salesperson and one customer care, where people can reach out to, talk to them, they explain the product very well, and then also pick up feedback from the people or the customers and give you the feedback that can help you improve on your product or service. It can't be a one-man show when you're growing your business, and it's usually hectic. That's why you see when you're not efficient, people don't come back to you. But when you're efficient and you have enough people, especially customer service, people who talk to your clients, explain your product very well, then you have maybe the delivery people who deliver all your products and services on time. That will ease the customer experience. It will ease and enable convenience for a customer, instead of having a one-man show because you think you have an SME. Please note, you always need people to help you build your business and also increase on your sales and definitely increase on your profits. It can never be a one-man show. You always need people to support you in all your businesses. The next is the process. This refers to the system and procedures involved in delivering your product or service. It includes things like the order fulfillment, like, when people come to you in case you want to do an invoice, you want to buy something on order. Then the customer service process, like what I told you, explaining or showing the customer how your product operates, and then how you handle complaints, as I told you. That process, is it seamless? Hope it's not antagonizing the customer. Hope when they complain, you take the feedback positively and you still explain to yourself. So these are the new things that the elements that were extended in the marketing plan. Then the final is physical evidence. These are the tangible components that support the service or the product, providing evidence of quality, that is especially in packaging, branding, the physical environment, or the online user interface. You know, there are some people who sell their products online, but how does it look like? Yes. Do you also show the location? Do you show all the products that you have? And then the physical location, like I said, it has to be branded. In case, like I said, I usually give examples of hospitality and transportation in case you are a mechanic. Then also transport as well. Do you have ample parking space for the cars that you hope to transport anything in this sector? Yes, you need to have a location, not people looking for you when they want you to supply them cars and you're telling them you'll find them. They need to know where you're located, and then they start choosing which cars they're interested in. So that is the physical evidence. Then we also have marketing tactics. Those are the channels that people wanted to know. You need to identify the most effective marketing channel to reach your target audience. We have very many examples. We have social media, of course, which is now ongoing because of the trend. It is easier, it is faster. Then we have above the line. Above the line is what we call the big kind of marketing that is using of print. We have some examples of the papers. You can use the New Vision, or you can use Monitor. You can even use other small papers like maybe the Observer, depending on your target audience. Then you can use television. We have over 40 televisions in Uganda. So you can also target. If you know that you're in various regions, you can use the televisions in those areas. Maybe if you're in Barra, you can use TV West. If you're in Hoima, you can use Liberty. And then if you're in Central, you definitely choose something that targets the people in Central. Those are the televisions and the radio stations in Central. Then finally, you need to allocate budget of how are you going to spend, and then how are you going to use the different channels. So definitely when you're an SME, you need to plan. If you know you're starting small and you need to expand, that means start with the things that are affordable. Like social media is really affordable. You can use social media like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. And then as you grow, you can move into the bigger ones. As your business is expanding, that's when you can use billboards, you can use televisions, you can use radio, you can use TV. So those are the elements in a marketing plan that need to be considered before you start marketing your product or service. Then finally, there is this one that is trending nowadays, and this is digital marketing. What is digital marketing? Digital marketing, also known as online marketing, is the use of internet and other digital technologies to promote and sell your products or services. Remember, like how we said marketing is the business of promoting and selling your products. Yes. So here we are selling and promoting products using online services and digital technologies. So we have a wide range of digital technologies. We have websites, we have search engine optimization, search engine marketing. Then we also have the main one, which is social media. And social media, like I mentioned, there are very many kinds of social media you can use, but you still need to target where your product and service fits and where you think your customers are when you're using digital marketing. So what are the elements of definitely digital marketing? Remember, they're the same elements as marketing. You need to plan. It's not about just waking up and saying, let me post. You need to know which channels you're going to use, because there are very, very many channels. Like I've told you, we have websites, we have social media, then we have email marketing. We also have mobile apps. You see, mobile apps have come a lot, especially in the food and beverage industry, and I think the transport industry. Yeah, that's why you see we have the likes of Uber, then we have transportation like Glovo or Jumia. All those apps, those are the channels that people use in digital marketing. But you need to leverage and find out where your customers are. And then after knowing which channels to use, you also need to know what do you want to achieve. Those are the goals. What do you want to achieve when you have digital marketing? What you want to achieve is awareness of your product or service, which can later, of course, increase to sales, then also interaction. When you do digital marketing, that means you want to interact with people on social media or online or website, and they tell you anything about your product or service, inquiring, and definitely also making sales using this. Then another element is it has to be measurable. And you see, in all the other aspects, digital marketing is the best because it can be measured easily. When people are online, you can know how many people are viewing your products or your service. You can know the engagements, like how many people are talking about your product. People are seeking inquiries where a specific demographic, specific interests of people, then it depends on your product or service. And you choose which digital marketing tool you will use or channel. So it's a bit specific because you cannot just be all over the place on digital. And then these are the various types of digital marketing. We have what we call the search engine optimization. This is where you optimize a website and its content to rank higher in search engine result pages for relevant keywords. Let me give an example. If I put shoes, I am not specific when I go on a website. I need to put a name that will resonate with what I'm selling. I can say first class shoes, or I can say shoes imported from Turkey. That is how it will be easy for people to search me when I'm on the internet. Then we also have what we call search engine marketing. This is paid advertising on search engines like Google Ads. I don't know if you check your phone, sometimes maybe when you want to click on something and there are some adverts that play in the corner, whereby either you view the advert or you skip the advert. So there are some people who have decided to use that route, and they promote their products or services in that area. Then we also have what they call content marketing. Here you have to create content about your product or service, and then you either do articles on the internet, or you do videos, or you do blogs about your product or service to attract and engage the target audience. That is content. That means like an example is maybe if you're into insurance, you need to explain through content the kind of insurance you offer, the location, and how people can come and how it is easy to apply online. So that instead of them coming to fill the forms at your offices, you have that option of online. So you explain it to them and then they can join. So those are the various. Then we also have what they call social media marketing, like I talked. That is the most commonly used. Social media platforms are very many where customers can come in. It helps in building awareness, promoting products. And so far in Uganda and most SMEs, majority have been using social media. And those are the ones, the examples I gave you, that is TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp. If you've seen, there are some people, there's an option whereby you also open a WhatsApp business account so that you can separate it from your other common WhatsApp. So there people can profile their products so that when people see your products, they engage with you, they contact you, and then definitely they buy your product or service. So those are the various kinds of digital marketing. We have content marketing, social media, and then the search engine marketing. Like I said there, you pay ads directly to Google. Then optimization is whereby you boost yourself so that you're ranked first. An example is also like here, like I've said, we used a very good name. That is the company that gave us this opportunity. That is the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Program. The moment you click, it is what you will see. You will not just see oil and gas. So that is what they call the search engine optimization, whereby your content is ranked higher. Yes. And then we have some digital marketing strategies as well. These strategies also are the same as the usual, the marketing strategies we talked about at the beginning. These ones tend to go on the digital side. When you're marketing, definitely you need to plan for how long are you going to advertise using digital. Yes, you need to be specific. When you start, when you use digital, like all this, for how long, so that you can test how much traffic is coming in. So definitely you must have SMART goals. You have to be specific, then your goals have to be measurable. That is the traffic, how much people are coming in. Then achievable, meaning that when you advertise using digital, are the sales coming in as well? Yes. What do you want to achieve? Definitely brand awareness and generate leads, which can boost sales. Then we also said target audience. You need to know which people you're targeting digitally. Like I said, when you're doing digital marketing, in case you're targeting, like we said, occupation, the high income earners are definitely on Twitter. Then if you're targeting the part-time people, usually those ones are on TikTok, they're on Instagram, they're on WhatsApp. So you still need to know where your target audience is, depending on what you can use. Then there's also what they call email marketing. Email marketing is when you send specific emails to people, of course, talking about your product or service. You get the list, of course, from your social media, and then you send them emails. If an example, I know all of you have banks. You've seen that banks are always sending you emails of the products they have, the changes they are making, the interest rates. So those emails can also be used by SMEs to promote their products, explain further what the product is, where it can be located, but through an email. And then we also have what they call content marketing. So, when you're developing content, you have to be specific. Don't just develop content for the sake. It has to resonate with your product, your service you're offering, and then to your customer. What do you want to sell to them? So when you're creating content, it has to be high quality and valuable content that resonates with your target audience. This could include blog posts, articles, infographics, videos, social media content, and many more. Please note, when you're doing a digital, be specific. If you're selling a product, also have an outline of how you want to talk about your product, okay? Don't think that you're doing content for your personal benefit. Do content that can benefit the client, showing them what product you're doing, the benefits, and then how they can receive the product either through online payments or delivery. Then you need to focus on content that educates and entertains or solves problems for your audiences. Yes, like I said, in case you also have an entertainment place, please, when you're putting content, you show maybe you have a bar, explain where your bar is located, explain the theme nights, explain the artists maybe you're going to bring in that area. Don't just put that this is the bar, come and drink and wine. No. Put specifics. Explain the menu that you have at night and then the weekly menu, yes, for entertainment. Then, like I said, we are diving deep into the search engine optimization. Like I told you, this is where you optimize your website and your content to rank higher, like I told you, so that when people look for you on the website or on the internet, you are easily seen. Please put names that are serious. Don't just say Panasonic. Panasonic can be a shoe, it can be a radio. So explain your product properly. In case you're into welding, please put Majezi and Welding, the best welding company maybe in Hoima. In case it's a restaurant, please put restaurant and this location, so that when people search for you, it's easier for them to look for you and give you traffic and also inquire more using digital. So our next one will be social media marketing, which has been used commonly in Uganda, and I think it's the most convenient and affordable. So social media marketing is also a kind of digital marketing that is used to promote our products or services using social media platforms. So we have various social media platforms that we can use to target our audiences and also educate them on our products or services that we offer. There are very many. Social media, first of all, has an advantage because you can target a wider audience, because majority of the people are definitely on social media. So that's why it has been used a lot in Uganda and definitely worldwide. So we also have what they call the paid advertising, like I told you. Those are the small adverts that you've been seeing on the internet, like when you open and then you see an advert playing of a product or service where you're entitled to either skip the ad or watch the advert, you continue, and before you look for any other content. And if you realize, this has been done for mostly the fast-moving products. Fast-moving products like using that paid advertising. You can also do the same since you have a small and medium enterprise. You can promote your product there slowly so that people can get to know. Then afterwards, when they click, and they can even engage you. Then, like I told you, we also have email marketing, whereby you have a list of emailers and then potential customers, and you send them information on your product or service, and they can respond to you. Then we also have mobile marketing. The most common one has been using SMSs or mobile apps, especially for people who have smartphones, like I told you. The most common mobile apps that people or mobile marketing has been mostly into the transport and then the food industry. If you see, we have a lot of apps for an example like Cafe Javas, KFC, then the transportation, we have Glovo, we have Jumia. Those are the people who have pushed mobile marketing, which is also good. If you think you have money that you can use to create your own app so that people can easily find you and also have a profile of all your products and services, then you're good to go. So that has been the presentation. I thank you very much. So
you are welcome back from the second half of our session on sales and marketing. We thank CNOOC for sponsoring these presentations. We thank Vectra Energies for enabling and facilitating the presentations. Thank you, Madam Gloria, for the presentation. And we have seen a few things in this second half. We've seen in the marketing plan, we have seen the situation analysis. Yes. That as an investor, as a business, you must assess your situation and the situation of your working environment generally, wherever you are, either your own business, where is it situated, or the situation of the market, or the condition of your clientele. We have seen you have talked about the promotional strategies. First, we have talked about SWOT. SWOT analysis is one thing that customers or especially businesses, they should care most about. Yes. Because SWOT analysis is basically maybe you can first jump in and add something on SWOT analysis, especially before we go very far.
Okay, SWOT analysis is when you need to know how you're going to thrive alongside your competition. First of all, you need to know what are your strengths as a person who is offering a product or a service, or what is your competitor's strength. then what are the opportunities that are out there? In case you're an SME and you've been working small, have you looked for this business and you see how you can grow? Those are the opportunities. Then what are the threats? The threats are of your competition. What are they doing that you're not doing that you can improve? Yes? Or are there threats in the economy that you need to address for your product or service? Let me say, in case, an example is that you import certain things. Have they increased the taxation so that you can also increase the price of your product, so that you can also promote and tell people that there's going to be a change in pricing? So those are the threats that you also need to know. Yes. And then opportunities, like I told you, you need to know, in case you've been a small business, how can you expand in this oil and gas sector? Maybe you didn't know that your product or service was needed. So did you read the information? Did they need your product so that you can go and actually market it? Yeah, those are the opportunities.
Thank you, Madam Gloria. So our Juwakaris out there, you shouldn't worry when you hear the word threats. Yeah, it's not guns and tanks. They are saying the people you produce the same product with can make your sales very low. That is a threat to your business. Then the taxes from government can be a threat to your business. So threats are just some of those things that will impact on your sales, that will impact on your profits, that will impact on your margins. So when you hear the word threats, don't worry. Just to know they are talking about business. Then you talked about the promotion strategy, how you can promote your business. You talked about people, and people are very central into your business. Actually, people are the business. Because if you can chunk out a good number, then you increase your sales and definitely improve your profit margins. Of course, with modern businesses, you can have very few people but of high quality, like the ones you talked about in the earlier presentation. What kind of clientele do you have? So we also talked about understanding the market mix, under which you talked about market tactics or channels. Your market, your product may be going to, it may be a general product that can be bought by everybody.
Yes, it can either be bought by everybody, or you might have a product or service that is specific. Exactly. So you need to understand.
I remember somebody telling me that, I think it's happening in Uganda, that in Nigeria, if you want to go and buy tomatoes, it's better you walk or take a bicycle. Otherwise, if you go with your V8, tomatoes of 2,000 will jump to 20,000. So these are the market mix you are talking about. If you analyze your market, you have to look out what the way I'm selling my tomatoes in Owino will be different from
Nakasero. It will be different, definitely, from the supermarket.
From the supermarket. Yes. Then you also talked about budget allocations, which are very vital in improving your marketing strategy. You must, as you earlier told us in the first part of the presentation, marketing is one department that you should really have a good budget for, because you are not marketing for a day, you are marketing for a very long time. So it's money well spent.
Yeah.
You may put it in once, and I don't think even Toyota still advertises today, because they must have advertised for like 20 years and then stop. Everybody now knows Toyota.
No, what happens is this. When you're marketing your product, you don't need to stop. Because you see, you need to market for a longer time so that people can continue and remember your product. The moment you stop marketing your product, you're giving them options to look for something else. So when you market, this is a constant reminder that people still need to use your product. You have upgraded your product, and it will be a good way of having customer loyalty.
And you bring in that element of now the demographics. They are also new.
Yes, they are new. You remember, people keep changing.
Yes.
Yes. So I always advise people to never stop marketing their products. Because first of all, the products also change, like we said. You may improve your product. You may change the packaging of your product. So please never stop marketing, because the moment you stop, you're giving away options for people to go and look somewhere else. But whenever you do that, this is a constant reminder that people need to buy your products or your services.
Then you also talked about, under the market plan, digital marketing. or online, and you advised it is easy to know the number. In digital market, you explain that it's easier to even churn out the number of people you want to reach by choosing also which medium you want to use under digital marketing. You can tell how many people are checking on whatever you are on your product through their clicks or opening on the site. So it's also under digital marketing, it is easy to decide which channel to use. Then you also explain that whether it's digital or any other marketing strategy, it should be clear.
Yes.
You don't leave half-baked information. People don't know that you are selling HP or HTP. You must be clear, and that is very, very important for your product. Is the word you use that maybe you should also explain to our smaller people, our SMEs. What is a buyer persona? I didn't understand.
Oh, buyer persona is just a customer, but you need to break down who that customer is. So buyer persona, we had gone back to the demographics. Yes.
Okay.
Of what is the age of your customer? Where does your customer stay? How much does your customer earn? Is your customer married?
Okay.
Which region is your customer coming from? Yes.
Okay.
So that's what it means. You need to describe who that person is that you want to give your product or service. And still, even though it's family, you need to also segment, as in if you're targeting everyone, you also still need to segment them. Like packaging matters. If you're selling to a bigger group of people, of course, the packaging is bigger. If you're selling to an individual, the packaging is definitely smaller. That's why we always advise people to know who their target is and the buyer, either as a whole or as a niche. Yes.
So I used to think lawyers are the ones who normally scare us with words, but in marketing I found one. Luckily enough, it is not a hard one to understand. So buyer persona is just all those segments of the market. You just choose for which is appropriate to yours. Our viewers and listeners online, they are still appreciating and asking questions. Samba Ashiri, I'm impressed. We have Sharifa asking a question. How do I push my team to understand customer experience and develop interest in sales, thus further increase on our company sales?
Okay. So first of all, since you're pushing your team, that means that is the sales team, Sharifa. So first of all, explain to them the product very well. Explain the product that you're selling to them so that it's also part of them. You know, sometimes people have companies and they expect other people to just come in and sell for them, not knowing how the product works or how the service does. So first of all, explain how your product is to your team. Then when you're going to the field, please go with your team so that you can also have further explanations since you're the owner of the business, so that the customers can understand you more. Then when they understand you more, inquire or tell your team to go back and follow up and inquire if the customer is interested, or if the customer wants a demo, or if the customer wants to find out where your location is. And please, for your team to ensure that they always sell, please reward them as well. Whenever they bring in a business, reward them, acknowledge them, put them somewhere like employee of the year or employee of the month. Always reward your salespeople, because it also encourages them to go and continue selling your product. Then one other thing that SMEs should understand, please always sample with your staff members the products or the services you have. Don't expect them to sell something they have never tested or they have never used. Please sample them out so that they can have an easier experience when they are talking about your product or your service. They should try it first. They should be your internal customers before they go to explain to your customers outside.
Oh, thank you. There is somebody thanking CNOOC. That's clear way to go. Insightful way to go. Thank you. That is a cheers for CNOOC. Madam Sharifa still had one small part to add on, but before I read that one, I wanted you to explain to somebody something small maybe you break it down this time. Is Mr. Kisache saying elaborate more on SWOT part in business? So maybe you approach it this way. You explain word by word. Word by word. SWOT means S means this. W means maybe there he can understand it much more easily.
He's Mr. who?
Mr. Kisache.
So Mr. Kisache, SWOT, I'm going to break it down. So S stands for the strength. Mr. Kisache, in your business, what are you good at? What is the best thing you can offer to your customer? Is it a service or the product? What best activity or service or product do you have? That is your strength. Then W is for weakness. Now, weakness comes in because there is competition, remember. You may not be the only one doing this, but you might have somebody else offering the same product or service. So when you realize that maybe your competitor has trucks and for you don't have trucks to deliver your product or service, that is your weakness. So what do? You decide to buy a truck because you've seen when you buy a truck and you buy a boda to deliver, that means you're changing your weakness coming into a strength. Then opportunity, Mr. Chisache. You might be when you're operating from a small area. Yes. However, your product has been so good and people are telling you to move to a bigger location. So that is an opportunity. When you increase your sales, you expand, Mr. Chisache. For example, if you have a restaurant, you started with a wooden kiosk whereby people were eating your food. But remember, it was very sweet. Now they are telling you, we like your food, but we can't park here. You're in a wooden place, the seats are small. What do? You get an opportunity. You look for a bigger location that has parking, a bigger location where you can brand Mr. Chisache restaurant. That is an opportunity where you're growing from a small area to a bigger area. Then we talked about the threats. Yes, the threats are not maybe they can also be in your company. Maybe your customer service is not good and the other customer service is better. Yes, I think I've explained that better.
Yeah, Mr. Kisache, I hope you now understand.
Mr. Kisache, I'm hoping you've understood that.
Yeah, the last part of question, the other question from Clay, from Nabucco, he says, what should I base on to reward my sales team? I think you touched on it, but you can maybe reinforce her.
Okay. So how do you reward your sales team? Definitely is by the revenues they bring in. And please note, it's not only the revenues they bring in, it has to exceed. You reward them after you start seeing profits. Yes? You reward your sales team after seeing the profits you've made. And then when you reward them, you also show your other salespeople that this person was the performer of the month. You can either reward with the product you have. Some people take their sales teams to trips. Others, if you're starting small, you can please buy them lunch, appreciate them. Then the other, in case you're into digital, write an email. You can say, dear all, the best performer was this one. Please congratulate them when you see them everywhere. That is a good feeling that will encourage other salespeople to also perform better so that they can be recognized.
We have Mehdi. This is very informative. Thanks for sharing. Chazi Muhammad from Zaki International Group. We have Kwanza Trade, great presentation. We have Nayebare Hilda. Thanks for the presentation. Another question I wanted to ask you is, what is the role of sampling in marketing?
The role of sampling, like remember I told you, you might have a product that people have never tried or a service. Remember that usually in marketing and sales, either you're selling a product that is new or you're marketing something that is already existing but people are not aware. So sampling is very important for new products so that people can test them and then also give you feedback. So it is good to sample your products so that people can test, give you feedback, and then others, it's also an instant sale. Some people, after sampling your product, that's when they even make the order. After sampling, they test, they like, they're like, add me more. Yeah. So it is a good way for people to know your product and also generate quicker sales. And whenever a product is new, it's good for people to sample and they give you feedback, whether it is a good product or you need to change something. Yes.
Then is the landscaping the same as the market landscaping? Is the same as the demographic separations? Are they related?
They are somehow related, but you see, with landscaping is how many people you have. Like Mr. Kisache said, let me give him as an example. He has a restaurant. So if he has a restaurant, he needs to do research. How many restaurants are in that area? That is the landscaping. How many? So that if there are 20, how is he going to compete and he is the winner and he wins the supply of supplying people in the SMEs? You need to know. And then there are locations as well. So you need to know how many people you have in an area so that you can compete properly.
There's a Michael asking, why are you passionate about marketing?
Mr. Michael, I'm passionate about marketing because you see, it's a good way to convince you to get something or to know a product. You know, and after knowing the product, you want to know how it operates, if it benefits you. Mr. Michael, imagine I was selling to you a phone and I start telling you this phone, when you put it in water, it doesn't get off. Yes, you can swim with it, you can run with it. It can tell you your heart rate. You know, nowadays people are into exercising, yes? So these phones tell them when to stop, that the heart is overbeating. So if I'm selling to you such a phone, Mr. Michael, I'm sure you would love it. Marketing is very good because remember, it is crucial in an organization. When you market your product, it leads to awareness of your product, which can lead to customers coming in and definitely making money. Because Mr. Michael, you won't be there and I won't be here and I keep quiet. I have my phone and I sit with it and I assume that you will look at it and ask me what it's about. I need to explain to you the benefits of you having that phone. So that's why I'm passionate about marketing, because it leads to sales.
Okay, as a marketing expert, a marketing enthusiast, when it comes to digital marketing, we have a challenge. You are there doing minding your business, you hear an SMS coming and you are waiting for mobile money, you run to your phone and don't find some guy from, the computers are selling at 20,000. You know, you feel like dropping your phone on the floor. That aspect of marketing, what is your view of it? Will it catch on? Sometimes it leaves a negative, depending on your circumstances.
Yes. What happens with marketing? Remember, when you're marketing, it's not that everyone you're talking to is going to buy. Mr. Magezi, not everyone is going to buy. Yes. But when you constantly send those messages, when they get it, they still say, but why don't I try this thing, by the way? Because this message has come too much. Maybe I need to try. Please note that marketing is promoting and creating awareness for your product, whether people are going to buy it or not, but for them to know that your product does what? Exists. So those constant messages that you receive on your phone will entice someone one day. Right now you might say you're tired, but one fine day, like you've said, you want to receive mobile money, but that one fine day you may not have data and that message is there telling you that buy data over 100 shillings. You end up buying it because finally the message keeps coming non-stop, reminding you. It will help you one day.
Yeah, maybe you can add on, because the next question was talking about the challenges the challenges of digital marketing. You have already given us one in that explanation. Maybe you can add us a few more on the challenges of digital marketing that, for example, Ugandan SME would face. Because remember, some of our SMEs are Juwakaris, others are rural-based, others are, so the capital is not that much. So what are some of the challenges they would face in the digital world of even today?
You see, first of all, Uganda is moving into the digital phase. The challenges we are having right now is location of internet in specific places. There are some people who need to move long distances to find where they can access maybe internet or data to promote their products or services. Yes. Then also Remember, this is something that is new. Some people are still having challenges in how to operate digital offerings on their phones. Then others, it's the accessibility of their phones. Some people have these small gadgets that don't even have access to Wi-Fi. So the solution is, please push on because you want to promote your product. You can even ask a friend to help you. Yes, this is why we say it's good to network. When you know you're having challenges with digital marketing, maybe you don't have a good phone, maybe you don't have internet, please ask a friend who can help you to promote your product, maybe take pictures, put your contact, and then help you promote it. Yes, you always need to start small so that you grow big.
Okay, now somebody is asking how important is data in making marketing decisions, especially now that you may have to use digital, but also that I think is required in all other marketing
like I
components.
said, data is extremely important. Please always look for data. Like I said, even when you're looking for customers, that is already collecting data. Point number one. When you're going out to look for customers under sales, you're still collecting data and getting feedback on what is good for your product or service, or how you can improve it. Then when you're also marketing, please, you need data and you know what to use to market. Either you're going to start with the digital marketing, which is more affordable, or you're going to go out big into the mainstream advertising, where we said TV, radio. You need data so that you can know how you reach your target audience. Data is also important because that's where people engage you from, and they tell you how they want to buy your product, ask where you're located, giving you feedback on your product, whether it is a good product or service, or advising you on how you can change your product or service. So data is very, very important when you're doing sales and marketing. It guides a lot on how you can redefine your product, how you can increase sales, and also how you can improve on your customer relationship management. Because remember, you'll be talking to customers all the time. Yes.
Then there are some products that are a bit of taboo to go, put them on the truck and go advertising, and especially in our societies, which are still a bit, traditional. Are there some ways how to reach them through this advertising model we are discussing here today?
So there are very many advertising models that we can use. So you said we have some products that may be a taboo.
Exactly.
So if you know you have some things that are a taboo, that's when you go door to door. That's when you go personal, have physical meetings, seek an appointment, and you explain your product and service. You need to talk to a person face to face instead of going into either the digital marketing or the mainstream advertising. So you can do the door-to-door or have physical meetings with your customers. That means you need to have a wider or bigger team. Yes. And then if you're starting small still, you can start with yourself. Then as you're bringing the money, you definitely employ other people who can help you in the physical meetings, whereby you don't have to advertise, but people know your product, but you need to talk to them physically. Yes.
Then there's a question here. Which method do you use to handle a project that has evolving demands? I don't know which product I can give as an example, but as a marketer, I think you can understand. Either the product is ever changing or its demands are ever shifting.
Yes.
How do you make sure you keep track of its clientele?
Okay. Let me give an example, and
Yes.
the example is going to be with media.
Okay.
You see, media, it's always evolving. Media is always revolving. If you remember where we started from media where you would wait, like UBC, you would wait for an hour before the news goes on with a funny advert. Then the soaps were static, that was it. But remember, media has been evolving where we had to include entertainment. Before, media was infotainment, only giving information, either news, or information on anything. But now media evolved into entertainment. So how did we know that? It's through research. You get? Because remember also people keep evolving. The people you had before grow, and then you have a younger audience, or your audience keeps shifting. So please, you always have to do research, because when you do research, people tell you what they need. So that's when people started telling the media people that they want entertainment to be part of media, and instead of doing only information. So entertainment came in. And then because media keeps evolving, they said they wanted to see breaking news online, not waiting for the news only on mainstream media, either TV, radio, or TV, or print. So they wanted also the breaking news to come out. So that's how the digital came in, whereby now all the news can be seen on WhatsApp. You can have your news on Instagram. So I think media is a good example where you see things evolving. But remember, as they're evolving, it shows that you have to continue doing market research, and you see how you can keep improving your product and service.
We have Sharon asking, which method do you use to develop a marketing strategy?
We talked about the methods, Sharon. Like we said, you start first of all by doing market research to find out your product and service. Is it needed by the people? And if it's new, that's how you find out. Are you going to sample the product to the people? Sharon, that's point number one. Point number two is where Mr. Chisache talked about the SWOT analysis. That is, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. If you've been starting small and you've been in a small location, when you did your market research, did you realize that there are very many people that are in need of your product or service? Yes? If you did, then definitely you start supplying them your product or your service. Yes? And then the pricing, like I said, research is very important. Find out in your competition, because you see, you can never be unique per se. You can only be unique in execution. So it's usually the same product, but how you execute, it's what creates uniqueness between you and someone else. And then, Ms. Sharon, when you do research, like I said, for marketing, you can realize that other people are not advertising their products or services. So you advertise yours so that you steal all the customers and they come to you, since you're creating awareness for your product or your service. So that's how you come up with a marketing plan. You first have to do research. After doing research, find out your competition, what are they doing, and you see how you can improve. Then also find out which mode you can start with. If you don't have a lot of money, you can start with the digital marketing. That is, like I said, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. You can create a business account for yourself. Then as you grow, you start doing adverts on radio. You can even have interviews talking about your products on radio. Then as you grow further, you go into the billboards and the TV. So research is still important when you're planning to have a marketing plan.
I think the Bonnie's question is somehow related to what you're explaining, because it's asking the importance of analyzing and tracking your own marketing initiatives.
Yes.
So I think you can just add on what you have just told Sharon, because it's also related to if you put out an advert, tracking and analyzing its impact.
Yes.
Of what does it help you? I think that's what Bonnie is asking. What?
Okay, so Bonnie, let me give an example. We have two types of adverts. We have adverts where, like, there are people in an advert and they explain or demonstrate how a product or service will be. Then we have adverts whereby it is just information without any demonstration. So you need to sample which one will work for you. You can start, because of maybe money constraints, you can start with the information advert, whereby you do just the graphics of, this is Bonnet and this, we offer this service, maybe we offer a marketing service, please consult us on 077. And then you see the traction. So when you see the traction and then people are telling you need to explain further, that's when now you create a new advert where you include people and people explain further how your product is used or your service, and they demonstrate. So usually we tell people to start small, like use graphicals, that is the wording. Then as people want to know more about your product, you include demonstration in an advert. So it keeps evolving. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope Mr. Boni have understood that part. Someone is asking here the 4 pillars of product marketing. Are there specifically 4 pillars, or there are many pillars?
They are not specific. Like I told you, we actually even don't call them, we call them elements of
Okay.
marketing.
Okay.
Like I said, baby, she wants to talk about the marketing mix, which were 4. And I told her they moved to 7. So the pillars of marketing include product or service. What is the product or service that you're selling? Yes. Then a place. Where are you located? Because people want to buy from people they trust. Okay. So where are you located? Then promotion, like we have said, those I'm following the P's. I don't know whether they're in that order. So there's promotion. Are you doing promotions? Are you sampling your product? Are you sampling? Then pricing. Is your pricing competitive? You need to know. Are you competing with other people? Are you lower? Do you offer discounts? Are you higher? Are you targeting a niche? So that is pricing. Then it's people. Remember that when you are in an SME, please don't have it as a one-man show. You can't be the owner of the company or director, then you're the finance, then you're the salesperson. So when we talk about people, it's about the customer care they receive. Yes, it can even be on social media. When you have a product and people are inquiring about it, do you have people responding on social media? Then customer care can be through delivery or the experience when they come to your location. So those are the people. That means the employees in your place. Then we also have the physical location of where you are located. Like people need to know where you are located. You know, these things of always saying, I will find you. You're not creating trust. In case you're selling a product or service, even though it's a shop, please put shop number this. So that is the physical location where they can find you and see and you offer your product or service. So they're not 4 pillars, they actually became 7, which is the marketing mix.
It turns out that has turned out to be a very good question, because we have expanded it. Now you can change from 4 pillars to 7. And in terms of marketing, if I am doing, say, I don't know how you call it marketing. If I'm putting things on the truck and go driving around, at what point should I say, no, this is enough?
Okay. So that is a promotion.
Yeah, promotion.
We have standards. You know, when something is new, we have a standard. When you want people to know your product, give it a minimum of 3 months and then evaluate and see if people have understood. So those are the tracks that you keep seeing people moving, saying, this is this, we are located here. Give it a minimum of 3 months. And then if it's within your vicinity, like if you're promoting within your area, 2 weeks can also work, 1 week or 2, if you're located in the same area. Let me say, like, if you have a promotion, let me give an example, like in Tinder, and your shop is in Tinder. You don't have to promote for 3 months. 1 week is enough, because remember, everyone knows in Tinder, so you're trying to show them where you're actually located. So it depends on how many people you want to target. Is it in a specific smaller place? The time reduces. The bigger the promotion, let me say you want to promote phones, or you want to talk about the transportation, especially the bajaji, you want to show, definitely that one needs to take 3 months, because you need to go in various places telling them your product or service. So it depends. It can be a week, it can be 3 months, 6, 1 year, it can even go up to 2 years. Yes.
Well, thank you very much. There is these are now words which I wanted you maybe to kind of reduce for the smaller common person, especially an SME entrepreneur. When I say brand, what do I mean? I can say that brand, that's a serious brand. That is a very perfect brand. What do I mean? Then also, after describing that, you can then also maybe tell us, what if I say brand health, what do I mean?
So what is a brand? First of all, a brand is the product or service, but it must have a name. Yes, product or service, but must have a name. And then it has to be visible. That's how you create a brand for something. Yes. It must have a name, product or service. Then the way you execute it or the way clients affiliate to it, that's how you create the brand. And then when you're promoting yourself as well, since you're in SME, please use names. Don't say this business. What do you mean this business? If it is a restaurant, please say it is a restaurant. If you're into tourism and travel, please say Site Tourism and Travel Company. So that is the brand. It must have a name and show what you do exactly. So that when you promote it, it's easier for people to see.
So essentially, you are saying, if I say, for example,
Majezi Sportswear.
I just know this man sells shoes for playing football, running, and
Yes.
and swimming costumes and all that. So
Yes,
the brand
yes.
should be the words can be few,
Yes.
but the description is
Matters.
bigger. Is bigger. So in a let me look at digital marketing. What digital marketing and e-marketing, are they the same?
They're the same.
It's just a change of
Digital marketing is the broader. It's the explanation where we say the promotion and selling of products using the various digital platforms. So e-marketing is falling under, and e-marketing is email marketing.
is email marketing.
Yes, though they cut it to e.
Okay.
Yes.
That is now is it we or especially those the innovators of the.
It's the innovators of these names. That's why I told you that in this country, what has been working most is the social media marketing, whereby people have found it convenient, it's easy to use, you can easily engage with people. That's why they prefer to use the ones that we know, like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Those are the most commonly used because they are easy to learn, they are convenient. People are very many on those ones, and you can even track traffic faster.
Okay, that is so basically that's the ones who changed it. We still have our people online. I don't know that they have put anything there that they have been following religiously. We thank them for being with us. Let me see whether they have added any of the. But in the meantime, as I check on these people with us online, as SMEs, as you know, Ugandans, like you see, like insurance companies.
Yes.
They have taken long to take root. Why? Because our perception is insurance. I'm not going to get sick. So we have the same problem with the advertising at a smaller level. We have that problem. What in advertising? That kind of. So what message do you have for SME owners, SME entrepreneurs, especially on advertising? For sales, they don't mind because.
But advertising, they don't like spending, but they want to receive.
That's now the problem.
So my advice is, especially to SMEs, please, when you want your product to be known, you need to first invest in yourself. Invest in your product, invest in your service. That means you need to advertise it for people to know who you are, what you do exactly. Are you offering solutions to their challenges? If it's a new product, do they have a desire to use it? So please, you need to market yourself if you want to grow and if you want to make sales. Don't sit there thinking that because you created a product, it will sell itself. We don't want people to say that there was witchcraft that was created. Please market yourself. When you market, you're creating a wider audience. You're having market expansion, and then you're growing. You're bringing in more leads, and in those leads, that's where the interested people will come in and buy your product and services. So I advise all the SMEs to always market your products and services so that people can know them and generate interest for them, have awareness for them before you can make money and become profitable.
Good news from Mr. Kisache. Thank you, Madam. The explanation was best understood. Thank you, Madam Gloria. So that one, at least you are sure he has understood the explanation. Then on situation analysis, maybe, because you remember it had several components. Socialize, it could be your own shop, where it is located. It
Yes.
could be where your clients are.
Yes.
Maybe where you are also buying your. So you can add a little bit of explanation, situation analysis, such that our small people, we call them small and medium, they can understand what situation analysis is all about.
So remember, it has 2 components. Remember, it has research, and it also has analysis, which is SWOT analysis. So like I said, when you want people to know your product, after producing your product or your service, can you first find out if you're the only one who has it? That is what they call situation analysis. So that when you're the only one who has it, it's okay. You don't need to advertise. But if you find out that there are other people who offer the same products or services that you do, like the rest, that you have competition, that's when advertising comes in. Okay? And then you need to know the target. Please don't just wake up and say you're selling to everyone. Understand your product or your service, and then know who you're targeting to benefit. You see, there are certain things we produce, and they're for a specific group of people. And then if you're doing mass production, still find out. If you're doing mass production, you still need to do research, and you find out how are you going to deliver to the masses, okay? Do you need transportation? Those are what they call situation analysis. Do you need transportation to deliver in the various regions? Yes. Do you need various offices so that people, instead of coming to your location, you have branches where they can find your product? So that's why I've said everything needs research when you're starting your product or your service.
I think you answered this earlier. However, since they asked, maybe it wasn't online yet. He's asking, how do you measure success in a sales campaign? This is, I think, the sales question earlier we dealt with. So I think that one you can add him a little, because it is not that hard.
So how do we measure success when we've sold products or services? We measure success by the number of deals that we are bringing in. We measure success by the leads, that is the customers. But are the customers you sold to, have they turned into paying customers? Are they actually buying the products? That's how we measure sales. And then we measure sales by the size of the deals that you've brought in and how much revenue you've brought in. And then when we talk about revenue, we are talking above of when you had a threshold of maybe you were supposed to bring in 10 million. If you bring in 15 million, that's already a profit of 5 million. And that's how you measure success in your sales.
Okay, that means you look into your pocket as well.
Yes.
How much has come in, yes, considering how much was invested. That's very, very, very interesting. And also, someone is asking, as a customer, would it be important for you to know how your salesperson was paid? I don't know that's related to.
Well, as a customer, how I go somewhere and someone keeps telling me, you've bought this, how much are they going to pay you? I don't think it's right, but if you have a relationship, I don't think it would be a problem.
Thank you, Madam Nabwete Gloria. It has been a very interesting discussion on sales and marketing. Thank you, listeners and viewers, for staying with us. Thank you, CNOOC, for sponsoring the training and the presentations. Thank you, Vector Energies, for facilitating the presentations. We are happy that many of our SMEs, owners, entrepreneurs are learning some of the things they feared, some of the things they didn't want to hear. We are going to reduce on Vandoga kind of thinking, because now people know. Otherwise, next week we are continuing with these presentations, these trainings for the whole week, and we hope to see you Monday morning. I've been Magezi Chirinju, your moderator this day.
The Kingfisher oil fields development has evolved, reaching some significant milestones after CNOOC Uganda Limited and its joint venture partners signed the final investment decision. Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired and compensation was fully made. Cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed over to the project-affected persons. Construction commenced for different aspects of the project, leading to the development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central processing facility, and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs and installation. Spudding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling outcomes, with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent camp, solar turbine transportation, EPC 3-tank erection work, and EPC 4 pipeline trenching. CNOOC will actively promote the LPG integration plan, which will gradually achieve the strategic transformation towards a green and low-carbon energy supplier. A camp integrated hydropower project has been set up, which will result in carbon dioxide emission reduction by 3,156 tons. CNOOC has continued to contribute to the Belt and Road, people-to-people exchanges, enhancing China-Africa friendship and promoting the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. CNOOC collaborates with various Ugandan universities to enhance graduate employment curriculum design and research. We have signed agreements with several institutions to support scientific research and develop talents in the oil and gas sector. CNOOC, in collaboration with 5 other Chinese companies on the Kingfisher project, spearheaded a drive that led to the donation of $500,000 to upgrade the infrastructure of the Entebbe Welfare School. This is the largest donation to education in Uganda.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sport, I would like to extend my gratitude to CNOOC Uganda Limited and the contractors of Kingfisher oil fields for your commitment to the cause of vulnerable and challenged children.
CNOOC sponsors international scholarships, sending Ugandan students to study in China. Under this program, a total of 11 students have been sponsored and 8 have since graduated and are currently working in the oil and gas industry.
This scholarship to me is a dream come true. I always wanted to receive a first-class education from a good school, and CNOOC has provided me with this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
CNOOC focuses on training and certification programs for skills needed in the oil and gas industry, which promotes local employment and strengthens Uganda's logistics and industrial capacity. Over 150 contractors and more than 3,000 individuals have been trained in various oil and gas skills. The company collaborates with local vocational schools to provide welder training, significantly contributing to Uganda's professional welding sector.
They took the initiative to sponsor us who are underdogs, and they want to put us somewhere. We thank them a lot. There's nothing much we can give them, but maybe use the skills properly so that they can also feel they have done some impact in the Uganda we have now.
CNOOC Youth Employment Support Program has trained over 350 local youths in various vocational skills, improving their employability and living conditions. These trainings cover welding, heavy truck driving, heavy machinery operation, engineering construction, and other skills needed in the oil and gas field development, as well as driving, tailoring, and hairdressing, among others. CNOOC invests in projects to improve community living standards, such as providing clean drinking water to over 13,000 residents in Buhuka flats, carrying out medical camps and building resettlement houses with modern amenities for 56 households. We have also invested $620,000 in maintaining critical roads and enhancing public safety. Livelihood restoration programs include donating livestock and teaching scientific breeding methods. We also work closely with the Confucius Institute of Makerere University, supporting events like the Chinese Bridge Competition and the Sound in My Heart Chinese Song Competition. CNOOC also organizes activities to celebrate Chinese culture, such as the Spring Festival. These efforts enrich cultural communication and foster mutual understanding between China and Uganda.
CNOOC Uganda Limited is committed to education and capacity building to fulfill its vision of energy for Uganda.
A rig is a group of equipment that we assemble, we test, and then we commission or operationalize to help us dig the wells, have them under control, have them completed, and get them ready for the production phase.
We have built capacity to handle equipment from the ship up to the last mile in the Kingfisher.
The convoys have been in the range of 15 to 20 trucks and driving all the way from Mombasa to Malaba in about 3 days. Then they would come from Malaba to Mukono, spend a night. Then early morning we would set off from Mukono to Hoima.
We have employed Ugandans, so that's a good way of appreciating and saying, yes, it is possible that we Ugandans, we can